School Feeding Caterers Association, said the group is turning towards, she said, our president said we have petitions to send. We are trying to get in touch with Otumfuo Osei-Tutu, the Asante-Hene, to intervene. So this is coming from the PRO of the caterers. So recently we saw in the news that their contracts have been terminated. And upon that, they also came out to say that they got to know that their contracts have been terminated on social media. If that is true, that means that an official communication wasn't made to them. And now President John Dramani Mahama, so from here, she's saying our president said we have petitions to be sent. So this is coming from the president of, I think, the School Feeding Caterers. And then she's saying that they have petitions to be sent. So they want Otumfuo Osei-Tutu and then Chief Imam to intervene. Do you think these are the right sorts of people to reach out to in situations like this, for them to go and intervene? I don't know who they are going to speak to, who they want to intervene, if it's either the president or maybe the coordinator of the school feeding program thing.
You made mention of they getting to find out on social media.
Yes, they said they got to find.
I think that is false, because I remember specifically that a statement came out where it was stated clearly that these people's contracts have been terminated, and they went as far as saying that they would review it, either employ other people or something. So I don't know where they are getting this social media stunt of a thing from. Okay, so away from that, she asked that if these people, the Asante-Hene, the chief imam, are the right channel these people are supposed to pass through to solve this issue.
Yeah.
First of all, I would say, in my personal opinion, these are not the right people they need to pass through.
So who do
because we have the education service. They can pass through these people. We have other other education service these people can pass through. The fact that they are school caterers or school feeding caterers doesn't mean that they are not also part of the education sector. They are part of the education sector because they also contribute immensely to the growth of the sector. So I feel that they should go through this prestigious people first. I'm not saying that Asante-Hene or the chief imam, they are not prestigious, but they are not the right people they need to pass through at this moment. When you go to school or when you are in an organization, there are protocols you need to follow. We have let me take school. We have the class prefect. From the class prefect, we have the school prefect. From the school prefect, we have the headmistress or even your teacher. Before it gets to the topmost person, the proprietor or
so when it comes to
owner.
hierarchy,
exactly,
these people that were mentioned, they're actually the last people you should even go to.
Asante-Hene chief, these are the last people you even need to contact if you follow the protocol and it doesn't work well. When you are in a marriage and the marriage is failing, you try to talk things through with your wife and it's not working. Who do you go to? It's either you go to a counselor or you go to your parents. But you don't just wake up without solving things with your partner, then you just move straight to your counselor or you move straight to your parents. It's not right. So first of all, I feel that they've not even given that respect to the sectors, the respect they are supposed to give.
Dedication.
So if something like this is going on, they should go by directives. They should first consult the people who are in charge of these things before you move to Asante-Hene or the chief imam.
So coming to where they mentioned that the head of the termination of their contract on social media. So this is what she's saying. Margaret Labi, Deputy Public Relations Officer. So she's actually the Public Relations Officer for the National School Feeding Caterers Association. And she said, we heard of it on social media. The termination of the appointment wasn't a letter given to us. We saw it on social media. No formal communication, nothing of that sort. So if this is coming from the Public Relations Officer, and I believe that if any communication is to be given across to all the caterers in the schools. It should go through the public relations officer. And here lies the case. The public relations officer came out to say that they got to know the termination on social media. So it could be that maybe they posted it on social media before they handed it over to them.
If they posted it on social media before they handed it over to them, it's still the same. It has been handed over to you, but I feel that if that is the case, it's slightly disrespectful on the part of the government.
Because I believe that it should have been given to them first even before.
Yeah. So in as much as it was posted first, it was still given to you, which doesn't, should I say, in a way, it was still given to you formally, but the only disrespect is it was posted on social media first.
Yeah.
But even in as much as you got to know on social, so if I'm sorry to say, yeah, a guy and I'm dating you and we are public influencers, and I want to break up with you, I post on social media
just like
that, please,
Two-Face and
exactly that please I've broken up with S&M, and I still come into your DM to tell you. Haven't I told you? I've told you.
But that is disrespectful.
No, I've told you, yes, but the disrespect is me posting on social media. But at the end of the day, you still got to know. But you know me, I feel that they just want their issue to be controversial. Yes, their issue is controversial, but they should relax.
Here lies the case. You are working in an organization, and then they have a platform where they post all the vital information and then messages, and then you got to know on that platform that your contract has been terminated.
I'll sue you.
There you are suing them, but in this case,
because it's disrespectful.
You get it. So that's how they felt. And then here lies the case. They are saying that she noted that the association has submitted petitions to the Minister for Gender, Children and Social Protection, which is Dr. Agnes Namomolate, and is waiting a response. So they've sent. So why didn't they stick to this one, but rather want to, go the external way by going to the Asante Henin and then the chief imam? Because I believe, I don't want to say something and it will be like I've insulted, these people that they are going to. But I believe that even when you are going to address an issue to an elderly person, when you get there, the first question they'll ask you that, who did you see before coming to us?
Exactly. So this is not any form of disrespect. We are just stating the fact. These are not the right people, in as much as they are prestigious, they are influential people. If they are not the right people, you need to vent your frustrations on, because what would they do exactly if you've not gone through the right channel? As he said, he is a chief. The Asante Hene, the chief imam, these people are big people who go by directives. These people go by protocol. Before you even see this person in particular,
the processes you go through before.
So why not
them.
channel that energy into making sure that you go through the right process?
The education ministry, and then the gender
education,
and then so who at all is in relation with this school.
So if it doesn't yield any result, that is where you can advocate for the influential people to come in.
Okay. She further lamented the financial losses incurred by caterers who had already purchased food supplies and preparation for the school term, noting that the termination came ahead of the official contract's expired date of August 25th, 2024. 2025. So their contract is supposed to expire in August 25th, 2025, which is this year. I think that is like 3 months or 4 months ahead of us. And then the contract has been terminated in May, and they've already purchased food stuff. And here lies the case: you've sacked these people. So I don't know.
I don't understand. They've already purchased food stuff.
Yes.
Why did they purchase food stuffs?
Exactly.
They made this. We are in May.
Yeah, we are in May.
It wasn't terminated this May.
Oh, it says it was terminated in second May. That's what the article
Was it not
is
this
telling us.
year when we were having a discussion about the termination of
Yeah,
school feeding
I
programs?
remember that.
So how come it was terminated this May? And even if
So
it was,
on May 2nd, 2025, the Ghana School Feeding Program announced the termination of contracts for all caterers. So I don't know if there's a new set of caterers that have also received their share of the termination of the contract. But anyway, I think we can still research on that so we can be clear on that. But what I don't understand is they've already purchased foodstuffs with the government's money or their own money.
I'm not sure it's the government's money. Because if
But
it's
why
the
would your
government's
salary
money,
be given to you and then you go ahead of your, and then you go and
you
purchase-
know, I'll say that these people themselves, should I excuse me to say, they are parents, but sometimes they lack intelligence.
Okay, so they are caterers, and they look as if when you
No. So if you are doing your wedding and you go and hire a caterer, you don't expect the caterer to use her own money or his own money to cook for you for your event.
so maybe the government had given them that money and they've gone to purchase the food, and now they've the food
So
staff,
if-
and now they've terminated the contract.
So
What
if
should they do
it's-
with the
no,
food staff?
Since it's the government's money, they can leave the foodstuffs. It's not theirs.
So
It
why are
only
they complaining?
It only becomes a problem if they use their
Own money, which I
Because
think is not their own money. I'm not sure.
sometimes it is, because I got to know that these people at a time they use their own money before government reimburses them.
Oh, okay. So it's more or less like the caterer pre-finance.
Then the government will come and pay back. That is why sometimes these people go on strike and demonstrate or go on protest, saying that they've not received their money. They are using their own money to make sure that they cook for these kids. That is why some kids do not even have a well-balanced diet, nutritional foods and all that.
Okay, so in another statement, she said, if you knew you would not give us the contract, you should have informed us when the payment was effected. We have used the little we have to buy these food items. What I have purchased, what am I going to use it for? So in a way, I feel as if they use their own money to buy the food stuff, and now the government has terminated the
Why
contract.
should you see, that's why.
Then I think the government
Excuse me.
is not being fair on their side.
They are not being fair, and these caterers are also not being fair on their side.
How are
I'll
the
say
caterers
that
not
they are
being
not
fair?
applying intelligence. No, this is a contract. Unless the contract stated emphatically that as a caterer, you are supposed to finance the school feeding program with your own money. Aside it is stated that way. But it is wrong.
Maybe they had an agreement in
Agreements, verbal agreements or non-verbal agreements. As a businessman or as a businesswoman, you shouldn't have an agreement based on mouth, because if this agreement was put on paper, I'm sure by now these people will be in court.
Yeah, true.
I say edwuma no yehia enti ekwan bia so amefa so edwuma na wo se minya ne minya I was say mo se me fa misika nya edwane kwa me de misika beye. After all, it's the government will pay back. Forgetting that the government is not should I say an AI. The government consists of people there who disappoint. If the government also has a hand in this, then I'm disappointed, honestly. It's wrong, because you can't bring an initiative where you can't finance it. Telling people's parents the little money they have that they need to take care of their kids at home, their family, their basic needs, they should use this same set of money to take care of other people's kids. If you don't have the money, don't finance an initiative. Don't even bring an initiative up. And I'll say that all this bohaha started from the past administration.
So now they are calling on the government to reconsider its decision and allow caterers to serve out the remainder of their contract to avoid further economic hardship. Since the contract will end in August, why doesn't the government reconsider and allow them to work? And then when the contract expired, then that's it. Or you feel like it's the government should just allow them to end the contract since it's ending in August. The government should just allow them, should reconsider. Or you feel like this one, because the contract was given to them during the previous administration, so they kind of like want to employ their own people as well, or give the contract to people they also know.
It doesn't make sense if you want to employ other people. Leading you to terminate other people's contracts, it doesn't make sense to me. We don't work based on who you know. We work based on competence. Exactly, and experience. If these people's contract will be ending on, I guess you say, why then terminate their contracts? And how many months? You see, I don't want to say not the government per se, but the government also have a hand in this. But the people managing that sector, I don't want to call them incompetent or they don't know what they are really doing. This is a case where you need to employ effective people, and I don't want to say that the people they are not effective. If someone's contract is ending at August, we are in May, it's the same year. It's not like it's far away. So I feel like they should have just considered. Allow them to finish their contract. Exactly. And even maybe 2 months ahead, you make them known. Oh, maybe right after this contract is done, we wouldn't be able to work with you. Rather than just sitting down and then out of the blue, you terminate people's contracts. You know, in every contract, if you want to leave an organization or if they want to eliminate you in an organization, a pre-notice is given. That is either 1 month or 2 months, or either 3 months or 2 weeks approximately. And even that till date, we still don't know why the contracts were terminated. Exactly. So the best thing, they can take it to courts. Simple as that. They can take it to courts. And this will be cases against the government. Exactly. And you think they'll win? Why won't they? That is where the judicial independence comes in. Right. Now I understand why the MPP are going on a protest against the government, especially on this judicial issue. That is where the judicial independence needs to come in. The judiciary system needs to be independent. Needs to work alone. Needs to work alone, needs to be free and fair. So you can't tell me that would they win against the government? They need to win against the government if truly their case is reasonable and it's valid. Exactly. All right. Moving on to our next story. CAT calls for urgent regulatory reforms in public sector recruitment. CAT International, a leading policy research and advocacy organization, is calling for urgent and sweeping reforms to Ghana's public sector recruitment system, citing pervasive opacity, politicization, and lack of mediocrity. Apia Kusi, West Africa Regional Director of CAT International, highlighted the structural flaws in countries' recruitment practices, describing the current system as a game of political and social connections rather than merit. According to him, although recruitment into ministries, departments, and agencies is expected to be open, competitive, and transparent, the reality is far from this ideal. The situation, he notes, has created a culture of nepotism, secrecy, and unaccountability. The current system disadvantages the majority of qualified job seekers who lack political connections, particularly those from rural areas such as Damango, Dambai, and Tamale. The absence of a centralized and digitalized platform for public sector job posting further exhibits this inequality, effectively excluding competent graduates who are outside major urban centers. So this is what CAT is saying. It's calling for urgent regulatory reforms in public sector recruitment. What do you have to say with regards to that? CAT. Yeah. CAT International calls for urgent regulatory reforms in public sector recruitment. I would say that I would agree with him, or agree with this organization, because the recruitment, especially into ministries, departments, and agencies, is expected to be open, as they said, competitive and transparent. But the reality is far from this ideal. First of all, it's not open. It's not open in the sense that these people deal with, as we said in our earlier submission, people you know. It has to do with who you know. Who do you know?
Yeah.
Protocol. Bring this. I would give you the position. Even if you are not experienced, you still have the opportunity to be in that sector, which is not supposed to be so. It has to be competitive. When these people are experienced, they know their job. That is where the competitiveness comes in. But if these people lack the experience, they don't know what they are doing in that sector, even productivity is not going on, do you think competitiveness would go on? No, it won't go on. And also transparent. It is not transparent when it comes to this recruitment into ministries and departments, especially in the government sectors. It is not transparent, it is not open, it is not competitive. The last time we were having a discussion where we were comparing the private sector and the government sector. The private sector is reliable. The private sector is open. The private sector is transparent. The private sector is disciplined. The private sector has all the qualities and quantities of something that is really, really, really good.
And now, I feel like sorry to cut you. And I feel like the private sector, when they are employing people or when they are recruiting people, they are very strict. You need to go through the processes. Unlike the government sector, it's like, oh, I know this person. You don't have to go through the interview process. You don't have to come with your resume or your CV. As long as I know this person, and then I believe that, oh, I know him, he can do the job, let's just give it to him, and that's it, ends there. But in the private sector, they'll scrutinize you. You will go through the process.
You will.
They will ask you questions. At a point, they'll even test your patience. And then if you can't deal with it, but
when it comes to the government sector, it's not reliable, it's not open, it's not transparent, it lacks discipline.
And they feel like the government sector, they are working for the government.
Exactly. And there's no supervision.
There's lack of supervision.
Exactly.
That's
the
it.
Productivity doesn't go on. We always say this, there's something we say when it comes to economics. When demand is high, productivity is also high. But here's the case, as a government, how is it called? As a government official, you just go to the office, you sit down. You know, at times they can even go anytime they want. You report late to work. You don't even make sure that your work is being done. At the end of the day, you don't even feel accomplished. But whereas when you come to a private sector, you feel accomplished at the end of the day because a tax or a target is given to you. Let's take the banking sector, for example. When you're in the banking sector, a target is given to you. Make sure that you meet this target. If you don't meet the target, you know that your work is on the line. Your work is at risk. But when it comes to the government sector,
we don't have that.
No.
They don't have targets.
So with what he's saying, I do agree with him. It has to be open, competitive, and also transparent. It's high time the government sector reform. They need to change their tactics for people to trust them. I quite remember one MP said that the thoughts of which people have about the government sector, when it comes to reality, that is not it. And it's true. Sometimes this government sectors even lack infrastructure. A whole government sector lacks infrastructure, which is really bad. So with the recruitment, it needs reform. It really needs reform, especially to these big departments and all that. They should make sure that they get a skilled and effective supervisor who will see to the day-to-day activities of the institution.
And the mission of CAT, the full meaning of CAT is actually Consumer User Trust, and their mission is to. The organization's mission is to promote consumer sovereignty and the framework of social justice, economic equality, and environmental balance within and across borders. So here, they are equal for everyone, and they make sure that people have that sovereignty, people have that freedom. Not like in some workplaces that they don't want a lady to be a CEO simply because she's a lady. That is gender inequality.
Exactly.
And for them,
let's put all jokes aside. Even though that now it has been signed into, should I say signed into bill, or it has been accepted worldwide that gender equality is now the norm of the system. Let's be honest, it is not. You still go to certain sectors and women or ladies are treated unfairly. They are really treated unfairly. So this gender equality of a thing, they really need to look into it.
So they propose 5 key reforms to address this systemic failings. CAT International is urging the government, particularly the Ministry of Labour, Employment and Relations and the Public Service Commission, to undertake bold reforms. 1. Create a centralized recruitment portal, a digital platform modeled after systems in Kenya and India, should serve as the single entry point for all public sector job applications. This portal should be integrated with Ghana.government to streamline access and then accountability. So they are proposing that there should be a centralized recruitment portal where everyone can have access to it. That if you think you are capable enough, and then there's a job vacancy in the government sector, you can also apply. Because it looks as if in the government sector, if you don't know anybody, you can't get any job there. And I don't think you've seen any vacancy or they've posted any vacancy that maybe this government institution or this particular government entity is looking for these people. Ne brother cry and like it's not a PRO cry. Becca say, oh, once is my brother, oh.
Yeah.
Which is very bad.
It's very
when
bad.
it happens like that, people do not have that access to apply for jobs when it comes to the government sector. So this is what they are appealing for. This is one of the reforms. And then mandatory public advertising of vacancy. All public institutions must be mandated to publicly advertise job openings across newspapers, the centralized portal, and other media channels for a minimum of 30 days. This ensures transparency and equal opportunity. So this is what they are saying. Have you seen any adverts that this public sector is looking for people?
No, it's only the private sectors. And the private sectors, most of them use this channel, LinkedIn.
Yeah.
They use that channel to advertise, to make sure that their vacancies are put out there for people who are qualified to how is it said? People who are qualified to go for the job or to grab that opportunity. But when it comes to the public sector, no. Before the before the person in charge of that sector will even come out to tell the people that there's a vacancy. No,
protocol.
So you see, I feel that it's good for you to be transparent when it comes to your workers, but when it comes to job opportunities, don't be open to these workers just like that. As they said, you need to open a portal, a digital portal where you can't tell me that you don't have a smartphone.
Yeah,
everyone deals with smartphone these days. Whatever
they
you
should be able to have access to any website.
Exactly. So they should create a portal specifically for government works or government vacancies. It shouldn't be more than 2 websites. It shouldn't be more than 2 portals. When it becomes that way, that is where even I'll say fraudulent activities will take place. You just open one portal, one digital portal where someone is seeing to it, making sure that he or she is should I say, attending to these people. And we shouldn't hear a case of Fasika Webra and Sana will give you the job. Now that is the norm, because you really need that job. So any means you are supposed to pass through to make sure that you get that job, you will do it.
Yeah. And for the third one, merit-based assessments and interviews. The recruitment process should include standardized aptitude tests and competence-based interviews. Independent panels, free from political interference, must supervise these processes. So I think that is clear. Interviews, aptitude tests. Sometimes they let you write some tests.
Yeah.
Assuming you're an organization and this problem comes up, as an employee, how are you going to react to this? But I don't see that.
Yeah.
Seriously, I don't see that in our government sector. Seriously, I don't know if you have seen that, because me, honestly, I have not seen
Tests.
that. I haven't.
Interviews. Oh. Nah.
And it should be free from political interference, and then must supervise these processes. I quite remember some of my friends when they were doing their national service, when they got, some people had the opportunity to be posted at the ministries. They got there and they were asking them, which political party are they?
What has my political party
And I was like,
got to do with what
you are
I
there
want to
work.
offer?
You get me?
You see, this is a case where incompetency, lack of experience always comes in. Because let me say what you want to hear and I'll get the job.
Yeah.
That is what is happening now. Let me say what you want to hear and I'll definitely get the job. Even if I'm not experienced, I'll just have to put one or two lies together and make sure that I get the job. Political parties or our political affiliation has nothing to do with the experience or what we have to offer to a company.
Right.
Especially, it's only government sectors you hear of this, but the private sector on file political affiliations and they don't know here your experience, what you have to offer, what you have to bring on the table. That is what they need, and not your political affiliation, who you are in support of. See, the government sector needs, what is it called? Need restructuring. They need to chuff out the bad out of the good.
So the fourth one is annual national recruitment calendar, and the fifth one is digital records and annual audit. So he emphasized that these reforms are both necessary and achievable, and he said, if we can digitalize BEC results, school SHS placements, and university admissions, there is no reason we cannot do the same for public sector recruitment.
Seriously,
this is what he said.
It's true.
Yeah.
So it means we have the means,
yeah,
we have the capacity, the capabilities to do that. Is it that we are being lazy or what? Or they don't want to just live up to standard? Because when it comes to BEC results, you don't have to go to your school to check it. So you just go to any cafe, you
have
just
your index
buy
number.
Exactly, then you check it. SHS placement, they just place you in your school. If there are one or two mistakes, then you just go to the YX center or education sector to make sure that it's being corrected. And university admissions, have you seen a case where you walk to the school, the university you want to get in, then you say, please, I'm looking for the is it chancellor here or there? Please, I want to come to this country. Oh no, these things.
It was formerly that it used to be so that for the admission they print the names and then they post it on their notice board, and then you go to the school to go and check the notice. And even the one, you don't need to go and see somebody, it's there on the notice board. You just have to go and look into it. But now we are in a digitalized world. Technology is taking place. You just need to go on the school portal and then you type in your name, you search it, and it's right there. So if we are doing so for BEC results and school placements and university admissions, why can't we do same for public sector recruitment? We should employ people based on competence, but not based on their loyalty or who you know. That shouldn't be
party
so.
loyalty.
Party loyalty. All right, moving on to our last headline. Low voter turnout, a warning sign for political class. And this is coming for Afenyo Markin. The minority leader in parliament, Alexander Kwamena Afenyo Markin, has raised alarm over declining voter turnout in Ghana's recent elections, warning that it reflects growing disillusionment among citizens, particularly the youth, towards the country's political leadership. Speaking on Wednesday in Winneba during the inauguration of a new court complex built under his initiative, Afenyo Markin said the political class must treat the issue with urgency before it escalates into a more serious public backlash. He cautioned that if politicians fail to act decisively, voters, especially young people, who appear increasingly disenchanted, could stage a revolt. If we don't take action now, the voters, mostly the youth, who may appear to have lost faith in us, could surprise us with an uprising at our blind side, he warned. Don't you think he's part of it that he's making politics unattractive? Looking at the way he's given the NDC back to back. Better still the youth to be like, then I'll not vote. Nembo bia. But what do you think is a cause of the low turnout in votes? Because we saw that, I think, last year during the election, we saw that most people didn't go out to vote. Is it that they've lost faith already?
Listen, let me use this as an example. We went out to ask people about the 120-day contract of our president, John Dramani Mahama. And what did some people say? Oh, sorry, I don't follow what is going on in Ghana.
Yeah, most.
That is even a disappointment. Most people have already lost. See, if it's not for this job, I would not even be following whatever is going on in Ghana. Honestly, I wouldn't, because I don't see the need to why I'm supposed to be so much invested into it. If I would rather go out and look for something to do. The reason why most people, or there's, should I say, low voter turnout, as he said, what did he even say? People have lost hope
and faith in this whole political.
Me too. One person said, "Me too abano,
one too
abano, me team." Amane ekoyo and koyo me team. So police. Oh, see, I'll say it's a red flag.
So what do you think can be done?
What can be done?
Yeah.
They just need to garner or gain the trust of the public once again. That is it.
And how can they do that?
I feel with our administration now, the current administration we are having, because let me use we are not being political here, but this is just an example we are setting. With the past administration, they said a whole lot of things, they were not able to do it. And they had 8 years in power, most of which I'll say half of it were just a disappointment, and certain things their leaders did which they were not supposed to do as leaders. We are more like having an autocratic leader. We are in a democratic world, or we are in a democratic country, but it looked like we are not. So with this administration, they should just make sure that they have the people's interests at hand. They have the people's interests at heart. They should also make sure that whatever they've said, they've come out publicly to say that they will do for the public. They need to do it. They need to fulfill their promises. Because if you want to garner the trust, or if you want to gain the trust of someone, it is not only by words, but it's by actions. It's by actions. They say love actions speak louder than words. Yeah,
Than words.
actions speak louder than words. So if you come to me that, oh, I'll do this for you, I'll do this for you, I'll do this for you within a period of this time, and you don't do it, what do you think I'll do? I'll just see you can me machine. So if they want these people to still come out and vote again, then they should make sure that they do whatever they promised.
So you think it's because whenever they read their manifesto and then you're not able to fulfill whatever they mention in those documents,
Yes,
that is why people have, felt reluctant to even go out to vote.
Yeah. And it's also a yardstick. It's a yardstick. I wouldn't vote. I wouldn't, or metsu etia.
Or they even spoil it.
Yeah. Someone where with the election we just had last year, someone says, "Me say meto pama aye party and meto aseno." That is the rejected ballot.
But how did we get here as a nation? That people feel so reluctant to even go and vote.
Our leaders.
And do you know what even annoys me the most? They are the people that will sit in their homes if there is doom, so they'll be like, "Hey, doom," but you didn't go out to vote. If you didn't vote, then you don't have the audacity to even complain if things are not going, because you didn't go out to vote.
Yeah.
So better to sit in your house and suffer. But if you've gone out to go and vote, then are you cool? Then that one day, I think you have the audacity to complain.
Yeah.
So this is coming from Afenyo Makin. Low voter turnout, a warning sign for political class. What do you think these political parties can do to make sure that, that appeal, that appetite or enthusiasm is actually there for people to come out to vote? You can equally share your thoughts in the comments section on our social media platform. On Facebook, it's at GhanaTalks Radio. On YouTube, at GhanaTalks Radio. Facebook, at GhanaTalks Radio. Thank you for joining us this morning on our news headline review. Up next, we have Today in History with Miss Regina Bless.
Welcome to Today in History and Did You Know Live on GhanaTalks breakfast show, where we educate, entertain you, and give you informative information. So first off, today is International Day of Plant Health. The International Day of Plant Health is observed annually on May 12th to raise global awareness about the critical importance of plant health in addressing issues such as hunger, poverty, environmental protection, and economic development established by the United Nations. Moving on, Tunisia in North Africa becomes a French protectorate. Tunisia becomes a French protectorate on May 12, 1881, when Bey Mohammed III as Sadiq signed the Treaty of Bordeaux, granting France control over Tunisia's foreign affairs, finances, and the right to station military troops within its territory. This move was the culmination of a series of events, including border incidents between Tunisian tribes and French Algeria, and the sale of a large property to a French consortium, which was later preempted by a British citizen acting on behalf of the Bey's government and Italian businessmen. Moving on, 1943, Axis forces in North Africa surrender. Axis power Germany and Italy surrendered to the Allied forces in North Africa, marking the end of the North African campaign during World War II. The surrender followed months of intense fighting in Tunisia, where German Field Marshal Erwin Rommel and his Africa Corps had previously gained ground, but were eventually outmaneuvered by Allied forces. 2008, a massive earthquake rocks China. The magnitude 7.9 quake left some 69,000 people dead, 18,000 missing, and 4.8 million homeless. It was the deadliest earthquake in China since 1976, when the Tangshan earthquake killed over 240,000 people. Moving to our last Did You Know for today. Did you know that elephants can smell water from 12 miles away? Elephants have an exceptionally keen sense of smell and can detect water sources from as far away as 12 miles. This ability is crucial for their survival, particularly during droughts, as it helps them locate water sources when they are scarce. And this is where I end today's Today in History. And did you know? Live on GhanaTalks Radio.
Thank you so much, Miss Regina Bless, for that fascinating fact. Today I got to know that elephants smell water 12 miles away.
Yeah.
12 miles. How far is that?
Very far.
Hey, then their nose is okay. They have long nose.
Exactly.
I nearly said their nose is very long, but I just realized they have long nose.
Yeah.
All right, thank you so much for the education. Yeah, so up next we have Debbie's Grill.
Good morning and welcome to Monday's edition of Debbie's Grill, where we talk about issues that matters to the state, issues that concern the state, sensitive issue as of that matter. Now, I think something happened in the course of the week that was it was so daring, and I had a lot of people talking about it, and I also had a lot of people, drawing my attention to it. Now, it's very common when political officials set rules. It's very common when they set rules. But the only challenge we face here is them abiding by the rules. Now, what am I trying to say, or what am I talking about? It wasn't too long. President Mahama brought out a directive that no appointee that he has chosen to come and work under his administration should not be seen accepting a sum of money, and as well should not be seen dashing out a sum of money. And even if you are to receive an amount of money, you should come and make it known, declare it, for them to know that yes, this is what you have in your possession, so that at the end of the term, if someone is raising an allegation, you can stand to back yourself. Now, in the course of the weekend, we saw Sami Jemfi, who is the acting chief executive officer of the Ghana Gold Board, in a viral video handing over an undisclosed sum of money. Some are saying US dollars, to evangelists or former fetish priestess, now evangelist Patricia Odro Cranton, known as Agrada. And this has brought out a lot of speculation, people talking about this and calling onto the government, the president. You should take note about that. And the chief of staff, Julius Deborah, has also summoned Sami Jemfi, attached to a viral video image showing him handing over undisclosed sum of money, reportedly in US dollars, to evangelist and former fetish priestess Patricia Odro Cranton. So sources at the Jubilee House confirmed that Sami Jemfi has been asked to appear before the chief of staff to explain the circumstances surrounding the transaction, which has sparked widespread public criticism and raised concerns over the ethical conduct of public officials. So Sami Jemfi is expected to appear before the chief of house and then explain as to why he was seen in a video dashing out money to Agrada or the former fetish priestess, now an evangelist. And you see, this was something that the government spoke about. This was a directive that has to be complied and abide by all the appointees of this current administration. Now, how does it feel like as a leader when you set rules and then the people who are supposed to abide by those rules, I mean, that's a different thing. How does it feel like? One, you feel as if you're unserious. And two, it also feel as if you don't know what you are doing. Because if the president should set a rule and the appointees are supposed to follow, and this is a president who said that his administration will be accountable, his administration will be transparent, and his administration will ensure that they don't do worse of what the previous government has done. And this same president has promised that they will ensure that the things they feel like the previous administration couldn't do right, they will write it in their administration. And a directive have been set. And then as an appointee, you are seen doing this. Not even behind camera. This was done in camera, and it was going viral. And what sort of signal is it putting out there? It will be very sad if he appears before the committee, he explained the reason why, he did that, of which I saw in a video and I saw in an article where he said the woman asked for, money for fuel. And even if someone is asking for money, someone is asking for fuel, money for fuel, are you supposed to do this and viral for everyone to see that this is what you are doing? Once you know that this is something that has been set down by a leader you follow, a leader you work under. And then one thing it tells us is, for me, I feel like, as I said, and I will always say it, that all politicians are the same. And it's very sad that you set a rule and then instead of you to abide by it, when this rule was set, it wasn't even up to a week or a month. Even months, I'm going too far. Let me say it wasn't even up to 3 or 4 days. And this is happening. What information is it putting out there? Have you sat down to ask yourself, the kind of picture you are painting in the minds of the ordinary Ghanaians pertaining your administration? And you see, we will be very sad if at the end of the day this get to the I don't know whether they'll come up with a committee, because this is something that has been so common in this country. It will be very sad if at the end of the day we don't get to hear or see any vivid outcome of this whole issue, because it was stated clearly that anyone who goes or anyone who doesn't go accordingly to the directive will face the law. So since no one is above the law, and since it has been clearly stated that this is a directive every appointee is supposed to follow, and then one way or the other, you've not done accordingly, then I think the right thing should be done. And just as every other citizen is expecting, we wish to see the end of this, and it should be positive. That's what we are calling for. If not that, then trust me, then I would say that this administration is not serious. If at the end of the day this issue doesn't get anywhere, and then we didn't get to see or hear the head and the tail of this whole issue, then it means the administration is not serious. Thank you for making time with me on Debbie's Grill.
Thank you so much, Miss Debbie, for the girl. But coming to that, Miss Eugene, are you here with me? Coming to the Sami Jemfi issue, what was the motive of taking the video?
he is not the one who took the video.
Exactly.
It's a random blog who took the video.
But you should be careful because you're an appointee. You should know that the eyes of people.
They can't live a free life, like a life they are willing to live outside work.
You can't.
So I can't dash anybody money because now I'm working in
dashing. No one is saying you can't dash anybody money. You can actually dash, as thousands of people as you wish. But you should know how to dash them money. And you should know where to dash them the money.
But the lady asked her in public. So why should you go inside the room before I give you the money?
You should know
you
that
ask me in public and I'll give it to you in public.
You should know that some people are there to tempt you. And even after that, she posted the video herself.
She posted a video
herself. Yes, and she's saying that the money she gave her is just, and then she mentioned the amount.
So why are we all making a big deal out of this?
We have to.
Hey,
so far as you're working under people and they have set a direction, you have to follow.
Will be here.
And I follow.
Sami Jemfi's kana wamano. That one will also be news that we also talk about. Waman and Swan Mosa Kasa. Anyways, I don't know why the video is now making waves. So that long time they didn't make the video after they've read the code of conduct before the person thought it's wise to circulate the video.
Well, it's up to the person, but you should know that. As an appointee, when you're using when you're living your normal life, it's okay. But then when you get to certain stage in life, you should know. For
them being appointed as government official doesn't restrict them from living their normal life.
It doesn't at all. But you need to be careful. You can live your normal life. Nobody is saying don't live your normal life. You have to, but then you need to be careful. It's not as it is. As well, you were not appointed and then you used to live your normal life.
Anyways, but he has come out to apologize.
Yeah, he did.
He has, and I think
apology. Well, it do hold you. They will know whether it to be accepted.
So the chief of staff,
yeah,
has summoned him.
Yeah.
So we are yet to hear
the outcome.
So that is it on the issue of Sami Jemfi. All right, time is up. Let's go for the news.
Are you ready to amplify your business or brand's reach and make a meaningful impact in Ghana and beyond? Partner with GhanaTalks Radio today to connect with a diverse audience across Ghana and beyond. Elevate your brand through on-air promotions and social media. Boost your brand during prime time. With GhanaTalks Radio, you can extend your reach across digital platforms. GhanaTalks Radio is not just a station, it is a community hub where your brand becomes part of the conversation. Join us in fostering connections, celebrating culture, and making a lasting impression. For customized sponsorship packages and enquiries, email contact@GhanaTalksRadio.com or call +233 202 544614. GhanaTalks Radio, giving the youth a voice.
We bring you local news, business news, international, sports, and entertainment news. Right here on GTR.
Welcome to the morning news broadcast on GhanaTalks Radio. Coming up, GTech recognition sparks tension between Union. Education Committee Deputy Ranking Member allows school management team for their dedication to quality education. Resident of Yasoso demands answer over alleged anti-Galamsey tax force harassment. These and many more coming up shortly, so stay with us. The Tertiary Education Workers Union of Ghana and the Teachers and Educational Union under the Trades Congress are locked in a dispute over representation on University Governing Council. GTEC recognized Tertiary Education Workers Union under the Traders Union Congress as the representative union on the KNUST Governing Council, despite the Tertiary Education Union Ghana claiming to have a majority membership of 789 compared to Tertiary Education Workers Union under the Traders Union Congress having 123 members. The Tertiary Education Workers Union argues that the decision is biased and undemocratic. In response, the Tertiary Education Workers Union Ghana declared an indefinite strike at the Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology, which kicked off on 30th April, demanding the immediate withdrawal of the Tertiary Education Workers Union under the Traders Union Congress from the Governing Council. Meanwhile, the Ghana Tertiary Education Commission has suspended the Tertiary Education Workers Union representation on Governing Council of Public Universities until further notice, citing an ongoing leadership dispute between the Tertiary Education Workers Union Ghana and the Tertiary Education Workers Union under the Traders Union Congress. A meeting is scheduled for 16th May 2025 to resolve the impasse. To other stories, the Deputy Ranking Member of Parliament Education Committee, Mustafa Yusuf, has praised school management teams for their dedication to providing quality education in Ghana. He encourages them to strive for excellence, emphasizing the importance of effective leadership in shaping the country's future. By acknowledging the efforts of school management teams, Mustafa Yusuf highlights the importance of leadership in education and encourages continued excellence. Now, residents of Yayaso in the Western region are up in arms over alleged harassment by the Anti-Galamsey Task Force. The task force was established to combat illegal mining, a pressing issue in the region. However, the enforcement effort is viewed as misguided. Recent reports indicate the government has disembedded the task force, fueling speculation about the decision's motive and potential consequences for Ghana's environment and economy. The resident argues the task force has not been effective in curbing illegal mining. Arrests and destruction of illegal mining equipment have been reported, but resident complaints suggest possible misconduct. Away from that, the Executive Director of Transparency International Ghana, Mary Awiliana Ada, has urged President John Dramani Mahama to take firm action in response to the growing controversy over a cash donation made by the acting Chief Executive Officer of the Ghana Gold Board, Sami Jemfi, to former fetish priestess turned evangelist Patricia Odro. Her comments followed the circulation of a video on social media showing Sami Jemfi handing over undisclosed sum of money, reportedly in dollars, to Nana Agrada during a public event. The gesture has triggered significant public backlash, with many Ghanaians raising concerns about the propriety of the donation in light of Agrada's controversial past. Responding to the criticism, Sami Jemfi issued a public apology, explaining the donation was a private act of kindness and never intended for public intention. However, in an interview with Mary Ada, she argued that the incident highlights the urgent need for stronger accountability framework for public officials. She reiterated her call for the passage of the Conduct of Public Officers Bill to criminalize unethical behavior and reinforce higher standards for public office. In business, the Ghana Union of Traders Association has called on members of the trading community to review and adjust the prices of goods and services in response to the recent appreciation of the Ghanaian cedi against the US dollar and other major trading currencies. In a statement signed by the Ghana Union Traders Association President, Dr. Joseph Obin, the association highlighted the strengthening of the cedi as a timely and welcome Development, urging traders to reflect this improvement in the economy through fair and reasonable pricing. The Ghana Union of Traders Association wishes to appeal to the trading community to adjust prices of goods and services to share the significant gains made by the appreciation of the cedi against the major trading currencies and bring some relief to the consuming public, the statement read. Over the past few weeks, the cedi has shown notable resilience, reversing its earlier depreciation trend. The appreciation of the cedi against the US dollar, according to experts, has been buoyed by improved foreign exchange inflows, reduced demand pressures, and enhanced investor confidence driven by recent policy measures and fiscal discipline. The Ghana Union Traders Association believes this upward trend presents a valuable opportunity for traders to pass on the benefit to consumers, many of whom continue to struggle with the high cost of living. In the statement, Dr. Obin noted that aligning prices with current exchange rate dynamics will not only promote fairness in the marketplace, but also foster goodwill and trust between traders and their customers. The Ghana Union Traders Association has therefore appealed to all sectors of the trading community to act in good faith by recalibrating their pricing structures, reflecting the more favorable exchange rate environment and supporting broader national economic recovery efforts. Now to sports, the Ghana Olympic Committee extend its heartfelt congratulations to the men's 4x100 meters athletic relay team for their outstanding qualification for the World Athletic Championship set to take place at Tokyo in September 2025. The exceptional performance by Ghana's relay team, Joseph Paul Amwa, Sen Safo Anchi, Fuseni Ibrahim, and Mustafa Alufu are the World Athletics Relay is truly commendable and a source of national pride. The men's 4x100 relay team has consistently showcased Ghana's abundant sporting talent, inspiring Ghanaians over the years. They acknowledges the team's hard work, discipline, and dedication, which serve as a shining example for other Ghanaian athletes across various sports. We are optimistic that this achievement marks the beginning of many more successes that will elevate Ghana to the medal podium in global competitions. We also extend our congratulations to Ghana Athletics under the leadership of President Fuseni Bawa for their unwavering commitment to nurturing world-class athletes. Now to showbiz, Ghanaian Afrobeat artist Ken Promise has won his first ever Artist of the Year award at the 26th Telecel Ghana Music Awards. The Terminator hit maker has received nominations for this category for 2 consecutive times, 2024 and 2025. Ken Promise also won 3 awards at the 26th Telecel Ghana Media Awards: Best Afropop Song, Best Afrobeat, and Best Album EP of the Year. Although he came close to winning the Artist of the Year awards in 2024, it eluded him and Stonebwoy took home the prize. But Ken Promise came back stronger, securing 10 nominations for the 26th Telecel Ghana Media Awards, including the Converted Artist of the Year, Album of the Year, and Telecel Most Popular Song. Ken Promise, giving his speech after being awarded Artist of the Year, urged the younger generation not to give up on their dreams and believe in God's timing, just as he did and has been made the chosen one. If any young person is watching me right now who has a dream, use me as an example of resilience. My first year when I broke out on the scene, I had 7 nominations and I left with 0. While some people laughed, I just work harder because I believe in God's timing. Today I am the chosen one, he said. The 5-star artist released hit songs like Paris, Continental, Favorite Story, Too Sexy, highlighting his dominance and vibrancy in the year 2024. Ken Promise popular songs and collaboration earned him nominations in the Best Afrobeat Songs, Best Afropop Song, and 2 slots in the Best Music Video category. And that's how we end it for now on the morning news broadcast. We'll be back with more updates in the media news. Do stay tuned. My name is Deborah also.
Are you ready to amplify your business or brand's reach and make a meaningful impact in Ghana and beyond? Partner with GhanaTalks Radio today to connect with a diverse audience across. Are you ready to amplify your business or brand's reach and make a meaningful impact in Ghana and beyond? Partner with GhanaTalks Radio today to connect with a diverse audience across Ghana and beyond. Elevate your brand through on-air promotions and social media. Boost your brand during prime time. With GhanaTalks Radio, you can extend your reach across digital platforms. GhanaTalks Radio is not just a station, it is a community hub where your brand becomes part of the conversation. Join us in fostering connections, celebrating culture, and making a lasting impression. For customized sponsorship packages and enquiries, email contact@GhanaTalksRadio.com or call +233 202 544614. GhanaTalks Radio, giving the youth a voice.
Hello Ghana, hello worldwide, I'm level band. Now listen, every Tuesday and Friday, beyond the time it's going to carry Braille, our GhanaTalks Radio, 7 p.m. sharp. Now Tuesday, we're going to talk about our culture, our history. Matuni ding setete abako sem. Now on the Friday, you bars on bars. You better rap, you better say ade. No artists go join me in the studio. We're going to discuss about music and business. Konya, or you singer, and now you rapper, you think say you get bars. You go spit fire. Now listen, make you join me with studios. Our GhanaTalks Radio, and yes, say then our day. Me say download the GhanaTalks Radio app, no, our Play Store, any App Store. No tune in, and say this is what you see. Baba live on Facebook, Kointakra, any GhanaTalks Radio page, and so now listen. Ebe your fire, 1 year, Konya, Wading, Jajan.
What do you want for breakfast? How do you want your breakfast?
English breakfast, French fries.
Koko Nikosi, alo komi kesheto.
Wache.
Well, Gobe is the real deal.
Join us on GhanaTalks Radio. Let's serve you a buffet of breakfast.
From news headlines review, current affairs to social issues.
Entertainment, sports, and all the trending stories live on our mobile app and across all socials from Monday to Friday, 7 a.m. to 10 a.m.
With me, Pakwesi Omare,
Regina Bless,
Deborah Adoso,
and I am Esinal Fiagbedu. This is GhanaTalks Breakfast Show.
GhanaTalks Radio, #1.
What do you want for breakfast? How do you want your breakfast?
English breakfast, French fries.
Koko Nikosi, alo komi kesheto.
Wache.
Well, Gobe is the real deal.
Join us on GhanaTalks Radio. Let's serve you a buffet of breakfast.
From news headlines review, current affairs to social issues.
Entertainment, sports, and all the trending stories live on our mobile app and across all socials from Monday to Friday, 7 a.m. to 10 a.m.
With me, Pakwesi Omare,
Regina Bless,
Deborah Adoso,
and I am Esinal Fiagbedu. This is GhanaTalks Breakfast Show. This is GhanaTalks Breakfast Show, your morning companion.
This is GhanaTalks Breakfast Show, your morning companion on GhanaTalks Radio. Very beautiful good morning to you wherever you are listening to us or watching us from. My name is Pakwesi Omare, your regular host for the GhanaTalks Breakfast Show on GhanaTalks Radio. It's another brand new week. It's a Monday morning, a money-making Monday, a movement Monday, a museumic Monday, a masculine Monday, so many things Monday, a Esina Monday, a Tamfun Yenyame Monday. But yes, it's a Monday morning. It's a managerial Monday because the manager himself is joining the conversation. And see, Monday, MWP pa. And there, bro, wherever you are, don't forget to join the conversation on all our social media platforms at GhanaTalks Radio, on Facebook, on Instagram, on TikTok and on X at Ghana Talks Radio. You can also join on our WhatsApp line 0202 544 614, 0202 544 614. Our YouTube channel is Ghana Talks Radio. You can also follow through there. Also, our website is www.ghanatalksradio.com. www.ghanatalksradio.com. It's been a pleasant weekend with so many activities in the capital of Accra in Ghana as a whole. One of the things that actually happened is an interesting thing. It has become a trending issue in the political space. This issue comes off right after the code of conduct was launched by the President of Ghana, President John Dramani Mahama. And on Saturday, were you at the funeral?
No.
No, Kakrakasi.
Whose funeral? Because I'm wondering.
The funeral that the dollars were shared. So I'm judge a lot for chiche funerals as you chiche dollars. The Oko funeral, yeah, in Mao Jollof near 5-star drink beam, Ubenya dollars. So over the weekend, there was a funeral.
Okay.
And most of the political gurus were there. They were present. And Sami Jemfi was also present.
Mm-hmm.
And according to the story that has come out, Sami was being, chased by the that woman. I don't know if she's a pastor or what is she? Agrada. What's it? Evangelist Agrada. Tata is Sami Jemfi, so man is come to fool. Now, what did Sami call the car? When they got to the car, Sami entered, and he just picked out some dollars, counted about $800 to Agrada for fuel. Just like that. Just like that. And it has raised a whole lot of outbursts, especially in the NDC themselves, that now campaign 100 cities cry my na wushia ma mi we ya or campaign create here mahama sa $1,800. And people are really outraged. People are questioning the conduct of Sami doing this thing, whether it goes against the conduct that was launched by the president for his appointees to go by, whether it shows some sort of opulence and arrogance, whether it should, a whole lot of discourse going around it. And Segana for the it has become a political banter between the NPP and the NDC. Obina and say and among some power 4 months spend watch $1 and they will do 1 year dear. And so to make you try to check. So that's the talk of the town. But what do you really make of this issue?
Well, honestly, people will see it as wrong simply because he's a governmental official, and then here lies the case. He's in high office in the government sector when it comes to the appointees. So that is when it comes to play for the fact that he's given money publicly. Well, I don't really see anything wrong with it.
Okay.
In my opinion, he was just being kind. Maybe the only part, maybe people will see something wrong with it, or where I will question is, we are in Ghana, and then our currency is Ghana cedis. So why does he have access to dollars, and then he's giving dollars to people? Yeah, that is when my question will come from. But it's been as an act of kindness, as he mentioned. I don't see anything wrong with it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Have you read his apology?
Yes.
Okay.
Right here, he has come to apologize to the public. That was yesterday.
Okay.
That he's sorry
but he did that out of kindness. And then we were taught that if you wash the right arm, the left hand, shouldn't know.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Have you watched the video too?
Yes, I watched the video.
Do you think he had an idea
That
of him
someone
being captured?
I think in a way he did, looking at how the video was captured.
Oh, okay.
And how he was standing. I think he did. And Aguada even came to the camera to flaunt the money to whoever was taking the video. So I think he was aware that video was captured.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. I'll come back to you, but let's take manager's Mane.
Why are you looking at me like that?
Manager.
What's up?
Oh.
This morning, where did you sleep last night? And
She's a bit down.
Me myself, I have some cold. This weekend hasn't been.
We have cold.
Yeah.
You
I also
have cold and cough.
Hey, and it's very critical.
We need to quarantine here right after the
Oh,
show.
please.
So, good morning to our listeners. It's been a while since I came on the show. This morning I decided to just jump on to also share a couple of views here and there. With regards to Sammy's issue, Sammy Jemfi is one person that should know that a lot of people are looking, like people want his downfall.
Yeah.
The least thing that he does would be everywhere because of what he did whilst NDC was in opposition, because he was everywhere, chastising the previous government, organizing press conferences upon press conferences, like doing, how do you call it, investigative things here and there. So the least thing that he does, the eyes are on him, and he's at a very critical position, occupying a very critical position in government. That's the gold board, something that is new. And with the talk about Galamsey, which he also fought, did press conferences at Galamsey sports, and for him to come to power to be occupying such a position, everyone is looking up to him. Like, so he should be mindful of some of the things that he does. Yes, ideally politicians go around with money. There's no politician in Ghana who doesn't carry money around, especially when they are going for social programs or events like funeral. They carry money along. But to carry it in the forest, that is the big issue now.
Okay.
Because we are in a country that for the past month or so, when the new government came, they've magically done things for our forests, our city to be stabilized, where people are applauding the government that, at least 3 months mobile, at least we've seen that the city is gaining strength against the other currencies, especially with the dollar. So for you to be carrying dollar around and sharing dollar in the glare eyes of the public, it defeats the purpose of which the government is fighting.
Yeah.
So first of all, Wankasa, you are putting the government in bad faith for everything that the government is working towards stabilizing the city. So forget about that. Let's go on and use in dollar. No. Then again, when it comes to the grassroots, that is where the problem is, because a lot of people have worked for the NDC. As we sit here for the past 4 months, we can say that a lot of people are going up and down, chasing for the minimum employment within the government sector, who are grassroots people who have been denied or who have not yet gotten such appointments. Even by this time, will be 500 cedis. I will top NDC government official. So for you to go out to meet Agrada, no person like Agrada, who was really against Mahama, who spoke heaven and earth, just so now sorry to say Mahama wasn't the right person for Ghanaians. He campaigned against Mahama seriously. For you to just meet her and all her shenanigans and antics, now even the money you are counting, and she took
all from you.
everything from you, and you didn't do anything, and you let it go. Charlie, it speaks some way, and the grassroots will be furious. Me, if any NDC person is furious at Sami Jemfi this morning, because Charlie, I'm saying we, as in the NDC folks that fought for the party to come into power, as I know, we work 1,000 cities, 500 cities square. Not. I'm not saying it's that Omaba power and teachers come out for, but ideally, you try to also look at your party folks, the people who have put in the work for you to be where you are now, so that the little opportunities that are there, you can also share for them. But say who ignore more now, just meeting people randomly in public, and you are giving them 10,000, was it 10,000?
No, $800.
No, but I got this video. No, the counter said the money is 1,000. He was counting the money, and he took everything.
She snatched. Yeah.
She snatched everything, and she came to say that the money is almost like 1,000 or so. So the infant is 800 per. 800 is no joke money. In our current dispensation, 800 USD. He said just go around and be sharing 800. So I got that poneji 800, and a big person be baby baby. I said no so very way. So that action speaks in a very bad faith. At the back of say the president, just within that week now, had launched code of conduct. And you see, sometimes in politics, it's come out. As soon as that thing happened, the opposition went in to take a video of Sami Jemfi, who was sitting on TV3 speaking about that Cecilia Dapa case. And he made it emphatically clear that for Cecilia Dapa to have such forest within her, she should resign, or like the one in the near all cancer. So then the opposition people will also say, so also government official who to mean dollars in your car and you are sharing it around, and they say you don't have any way be a justification to even occupy your position.
Okay.
In the first Mahama administration, Vicky Mahama, just at the thought that she wanted to make $1 million in government, she didn't have the money. She didn't get the money. She just said that her dream in government is just to make $1 million. Addiction, she was gone. She was gone, cry. And now the Mama comes back, and it seems the president is very, very focused on fighting corruption within his government, because he has banned even his appointees from doing lavish birthday parties. So everything that he's putting in place speaks like a president who has learned his lessons and really want to fight corruption within his government, because probably in the past, some of his appointees, misbehave here and there, and corruption was all over his government. So now he wants to keep it clean. So for you to go about and doing this within 4 months, Charlie, sometimes we need to be honorable enough in our dealings. Yes, he has come out to apologize, which is very, very good of him, but because of precedents, what's Wakakanda, there will Wakakanda and I say for no, people will just push you by your previous or your past words and say, Charlie, etu obi say, this is what you yourself called for. You are calling for the sacking or whatever of the president. So we say, and also do so. So he should be Sami Jemfi should be very careful, because he's one person that a lot of people just want to
turning him down.
The least mistake, you are out. So you should be very cautious about some of these things, and just make sure that Charlie, whatever the president and government are putting in place, especially in the fight of corruption, he also tones the same line, because Charlie, you're a young guy. Yes, the position you occupy, you see money day in, day out, but how to manage it? No one is saying that don't share money or don't be what was the word, benevolent to people, but how you do it. Because, as Islam said, he was aware that the thing was being captured on camera because they didn't just go into the car. The thing started from greeting, me pacho, when Pao Papa Choma me, and everything was being captured on camera. And the camera followed them to the car. So he knew that everything was any. Charlie, so far as there's camera on you, the next thing is that the thing is on social media.
Sure.
So you need to also protect your circle, protect yourself from all these things, so that as a government appointee, some of these things don't come your way. Because opposition, they are not, and also in MBC, the scandal should just pop up for them to jump on, do their press conference, do their demonstration, protest here and there. So if you give them the room to, do those things, they will come biting and they will come backing at you. So it should be a lesson to every other government appointee, because these are early days yet. If you start on these notes, usually it's going to be a very long, year for the government.
For him. Oh, okay.
But do you think it would have been a big deal if that currency was in Ghana cedis?
Yes, still, it would be a big deal because you see, so far as you're a public official, that is what I said earlier on, that every public official, especially politicians, they carry money along.
Yeah.
Especially when they are going for funerals and all those things. But the manner in which you do it is where the question is now.
Okay.
Because ideally, camera ni so and watch that car in their manner. Nobody sees what you did in the car.
Sure.
But now there's camera following you throughout the process. And you were counting the money. So it gives the impression that, by this time, a lot of people even don't know that politicians cry say now.
Yeah.
And so unless we the so-called privileged ones now, media, part of we now, we follow them around and we are close to them. We know that this is some of the things that they do, because almost every politician, when you go to their house, they have money there, because day in, day out, people are coming to them to seek for help here and there. So almost all of them, they keep some sort of money within them, so that our constituents and our people they are able to reach out. Because Obi in China, as a politician, coming to early Monday morning, go and look at most of the MPs. People have lined up in front of their gates, coming to seek for school fees. Obi by Jane light bill, Obi by Jane way. Into Obana or catching so miniska. Ghana ni non June. Sir, honorable, what are you telling me? So almost all of them, they have some sort of funds around them, so that when such situations happen, they can easily reach out and offer their little help that they can.
Okay.
But you don't do those things in front of camera.
Okay.
So at least so that Charlie, Ghanaians are wild, though.
Yeah.
Ghanaians are wild. So the least thing that you do, they'll come at you. So we just have to be cautious in some of these things that we do. And that's all.
Yeah. You also mentioned that you don't find anything wrong with it if party loyalties they come and then they are angry and then they are furious that this is actually a woman who has actually sat on social media and then bashing President John Dramani Mahama and said all sorts of things against him. And then Sami Jemfe is now gifting her money. Here lies the case. This woman actually asked for the money. And I don't believe Sami Jemfe will know everybody who has been loyal to the party. And then should it be that for the fact that you are being loyal, you should expect something back?
Oh, you see,
because it should be free will.
Agrada's case is totally different. We all know Agrada. Agrada and her antics.
Yeah, she will pursue you.
Yesterday, Agrada was in church and was saying that Mama was going to reign for 8 years. All because she got $1,800 the day before that. All of a sudden, Agrada knows that Mama is the best person for Ghana. But 4 months ago, Agrada didn't know that.
Sure.
So, and she was like, Yenyana more umbra. You see, Agrada there, we all know her, Mama Pat. From the days, I don't know, did you want to home? You see, so anything that she does or she will do just for her to get the thing, she will do it. Now, to the party people, yes, everyone, when you come to government, first of foremost, you are looking at for the majority of the Ghanaians. But you need to have it at the back of your mind that even though Ghana for the people who made sure that you were even brought onto the ticket of the party were the party people, because for the within the process, you went to primaries. In the primaries were a lot of people contesting to become MPs or parliamentary candidates or the presidential candidates, and party following who mobile. So when I to they voted for you to lead them either at the constituency level or at the president national level. So you owe it to them that when they come calling, you need to, respond. Because where they are, so far as you weren't an independent candidate, you were brought on the ticket of the party. So you have that responsibility towards the party people. Yes, you can't satisfy everybody. I mean, I don't also say that because it's a party like NDC, so change now, NDC from Kwankoshim, because definitely we have a lot of MPP, CPP, PNC people who also know certain things that when you bring them on board, they can also equally offer something better for the nation. But because you were brought on the ticket of the party, definitely you owe it to the party people to make sure that you satisfy them. So when the party people come, and that is why I'm saying NDC won't wake up in the morning and go to an NPP MP's house to go and seek for. It's the NPP people, NPP delegates or whatever they are. They will go to the MP say, "Oh MP, accommodate me. Wait my boy. That is how it is. But when we come into the public, just because we are all Ghanaians, Sami Jemfi could have denied Agrada, but Sami Jemfi knowing who Agrada is, wouldn't know. Oh, Agrada, national.
That would have also been an issue, though.
He denied Agrada.
Denying Agrada.
Agrada for whatever it is. Where the Agrada is also part of the national way. No, I'm saying NDC, when NDC came out, I'm called Miti Clergy. So Agrada so could be. Then we were all even surprised. In Agrada also, the Benamu recognized a part of the way. But Agrada so could be. So the fact that she's part of that body, yes, she also holds a key position within the discourse of the country. So where they are, Mama Pat, the Ocean in there, Obejo, no, also Akasha on Obejo, Obejo. And let it be at the back of your mind, say Osha Obejo. So it's part of that, but you can't say no to party loyalists because when you do that, some normal train, 4 years will just come. 4 years will come and do so. You didn't say no, so Charlie, this is payback time, and they'll just boot you out and bring the next person. So it is what it is. They should just look at how they manage their affairs.
Now, talking about precedents, and as you rightfully said, the opposition especially has come out with footages of Sami chastising other people whilst he was in opposition. Now, in Sami's case, compared to those that he was chastising, can we say they are on the same weight? Because with Cecilia Dape's case, it was almost like an investigative something that brought it out.
Yeah.
But this was an act of kindness.
Openly.
Which has, been framed. And I understand people. It's politics we are doing. We need to get the propaganda rolling so that, we have points to catch up with our conversations and all. But aside the politics of the game, his conduct, does it really demand, as people are calling for his resignation or his sacking by the president and all that, is there something that we can really
totally no, it doesn't amount to sacking or any resignation. But you see, because it's politics and because what can be done, you see, everything
some big I'm trying to remember that.
You see, everything that
mostly something
Everything that the opposition is doing is based on what you have said in the past.
So they try to use
it against you. Because this is no issue, say, because of this.
Yeah.
But you see, then again, we go back to the Vicky Mahama's issue. Because Vicky Mahama just had the thought of making $1 million.
Yeah.
She only had a thought too.
And she was sad.
And she was sad.
Yeah.
She wasn't found holding
the money,
the dollars. She only said that in a way she said, "Obinya $1 million bill of government," and pa, she was gone. So you see, when you just oppose this two things, then you say, "Obi kura ka say oh, binya yeji nedin." But 4 months down the line, you have stash of dollars all over. You are just sharing it. So whoever it is, who say, Jemfi, before government, ideally, when he goes for social events, is that how he does things? You see, then we'll start going back to your previous, how you were doing whilst in opposition. Is that how he was doing things before government? Where was he working at? What was his salary range? How was he living his life? Now he's in government. 4 months down the line, he's the CEO of Gold Board, something that has become. There's a whole lot of issues around it, and within 4 months, you are sharing USD all over. So all those things will just trigger in the minds of people. Then let's go and look at what he's doing at the Gold Board, at the position given to him by government, for us to conclude. Possibly because he occupies that position, that is why he's got access to such monies.
Okay.
Then the issue about corruption, and answer the issue about he putting his hands into the coffers of government or whatever he's doing, raises. So these are the things that will linger in the minds of people, for people to call for your resignation or suspension or something. Because before government, you weren't probably seen doing some of these things. So why all of a sudden you started doing, and where are you getting those monies from? Those are legal questions or right questions that people will ask. It's right in the sense that people will ask such questions, because previously no one you didn't have access. Even if you had access, we didn't see it. But now you are in government and you are occupying a very critical position, and you are seen doing this. Then people will raise questions as to how you are getting those monies.
Okay. And in that regard, I wanted us to actually get into that, and as you've brought it up, I know definitely you know Sami quite a bit, right from his school days. This is the first time Sami is actually in government. All his life he has been an opposition member and all. But Sami has been doing well.
In terms of finances?
Very well.
Okay.
Sami has just come to power, but he's been driving Land Cruiser ever since.
Okay.
His own car. I know about 4 of his cars, which is not something that you say where the sikake being at the toy. Yeah. Secondly, he's had businesses way before he came to power. Even before he became an NDC communicator, he had 2 big businesses in Kumasi, which I can testify to. I'm not saying this to maybe justify or whatever, but I'm just relating it to when the issue of omoba power and omabenyeska no omoye kukuti. Some of these people actually have, we are talking about $800. Sami is a lawyer. He represents big firms. In fact, he is part of the legal team for ENP, Ibrahim Mohammed, and he's been part of it for years. For years. He is the head of communication for one of the biggest, if not the biggest, party in Ghana. Sami shared about 200 motorcycles and about 100 cars to support the party for their campaign when he haven't come into power. So can we, is the backlash against him that Oba power and Wabinyas can raise, and he's a very kind man. Very kind man. Like, kind man. I have benefited from his kindness before. So I can speak to the fact of his kindness. I can testify to about 8 people I know who have benefited. These are people who, on a normal day, why should they even benefit from him? But they've benefited. So, with his letter of apology saying that, oh, he thought he was just doing his normal, customary kind of kindness, I can say that yes, that is who he is.
But you see, this is you saying it because you have had personal encounter with him.
Yeah, that I was bringing it to a certain conclusion that regardless of all these things, and with what happened over the weekend, is it an official breach of conduct of what he did? If not, we just politicizing it or whatever, the propaganda. If it's a breach, where has he really breached? Which makes the backlash justifiable.
So then we need to go into the code of conduct and read the code of conduct.
Okay.
But you see, from your narration, 30 million plus Ghanaians don't know Sammy Gyamfi personally.
Yes.
They don't know his worth. They don't know what he was doing before he came to power. There's a lot of the politicians, most people don't know them. That is what, when they were vetting and Afenyomakin issue came, and you see how he was talking about his past, even before MPP and stuff, the business that he was doing as a young man. There's a lot of people who have their private businesses that they do before they come into politics or they come into government. But because many of us who are the voters, the ordinary Ghanaians, don't know, we always use them being in government. We see them being in government as their way of getting their riches here and there. But most of them, they didn't get the riches that they had in government. They did it in private businesses. So until you are close to the person, you wouldn't know this. And the masses that vote don't know this. And before you come out to tell them, now, the damage has been done already. You see, you are talking about Gyamfi's law firm, business here and there, because you are among the few privileged to know, because you have either some sort of link or connection to him, or because you're a journalist and you have done your own research and you know the background of the person. But the masses who are online, they don't know all these things. So they only base it on, say, our government, because then again, when he was opposition, they didn't see him doing some of these things. And you see, in opposition, sometimes I don't want to use party structures because the party structure works differently from how we see it. So you mentioned about Sammy Gyamfi donating the bikes. Sammy Gyamfi is the National Communication Officer of the NDC, the biggest, the current government, at the time the biggest opposition party. By virtue of him being the Director of Communication, most of the things that are being donated to the party, they will come to the national body, and the national body chooses at a point in time. They say, oh, let the chairman go and hand this over, because the chairman has some goodwill with the people. At a point in time, let the general secretary does. So most people, the things that they will do in politics is you have people behind that are pushing it. They will donate to the party because they are from say behind the curtain financiers, they don't want to show face. They always go through people within the political space for them to, So that buys, it might not even be Sami Jemfi's pockets that he bought those by. It might be donated to him to, share to the party, because he's also a national officer, and probably the national officers were taxed to also support the national campaign. So it's on each and every officer to also go and source for some of these things to come and support the campaign. Nevertheless, yes, Sami is a well-to-do person before he came into government. But the point is, because the masses didn't see him doing some of these gestures whilst in opposition, they will raise that concern now that you are in government. And because the president is also seen to be championing a very serious cause against corruption, fighting corruption within his government, this present government, anything that is associated with corruption or corrupt acts will be a very high thing on the minds of people. People won't take it lightly, because this morning I've seen a lot of big journalists who are not even political or asking the president how the president is going to treat this. But here's the case: this shouldn't have been any big deal for even the president to step in. But because of precedent, some of the things that we've said here this morning, that it will call for people to ask the president to, say or do or take any action based on this. Bankai on a normal day, obinam the baby and wako baby no all chenisika. And you cry in you cry, you run, you call baby, I'm for share to meet your muska.
Yeah.
What you say? Yeah, any shape for a cheska, but because we are quite political appointee, and because of the things that you've said in the past, based on similar things, that is why it has become a very big issue. But this morning, we've all left the issue about Galamsey. We've all left the issue about CJ. We've all left the issue about whether our vice president is coming or not. We've all left the issues, the very issues that confront us. We've left them all and see, look at the things that we are going to talk about. But there are pressing issues. People who have stolen money that we are chasing. We've kept quiet.
We don't even hear of
We are not going to talk about it.
Probably because for the whole week we won't be talking about it.
Now the opposition is going to use this also to champion the cause of like Odubahin and all those people that have been accused of corruption cases. Now the Attorney General and the OSP will be brought into this issue. You see, they will be dragged into this issue. That what are you going to do about it? Galamsey say Jai. But this week we are not going to fight about Galamsey because he said $10 into $10. This is how Ghana is. This is how we've been. So we are going to run through Sami Jemfi. Sami Jemfi will be the topical issue throughout this week. Ochina Poladmo should be a touch screen analysis. Barry Oketechi also coming. Oh goodness! This Sami Jemfi also on any JJ. What on China a day?
Yes, more. And na isikano senka or deny woman and cannot be.
And that's a baby.
Oh, I'm saying,
oh, preaching in the whole
oh, and
preaching.
That one like NDC. You see, most I've followed the discussion online, and most NDC big whips, the ministers, the appointees, they're all supporting Sami Jemfi.
Yeah,
fine. The NDC grassroots, most of them are also, I've seen also supporting and justifying Sami Jemfi's act. And got denying and kind of when you have massive support because this is a person that was clearly against you.
Yeah.
So your party people would have the grassroots will come up both and say yes, this is the thing we need to see. Because last week I heard what was his name, Nana Jantua, a presenter.
Nana.
It's not Nana Jantua. There's Nana Jantua on Adum FM.
Oh, okay.
Who said that Leonardo at his during his presidency didn't smile with Mahama. So why is Mahama smiling with Nanado?
Yeah.
So Mahama shouldn't smile with Nanado. He should just pay him. A whole and he went on to even use some words that later on he came back upon reflection to apologize to Nanado that he was sorry to use those words. You see, so if Sami Jefi had denied Agrada, by this time NDC grassroots almost say yes, because this is a person that was clearly against you, stood behind his pulpit and did all whatever or your fasting and prayers. Your prophecies that Muhammad wasn't coming to power. I didn't know who one touch. What didn't Agrada say last year? Also, one touch. Number one, she told all her congregation that they should go number one.
Okay.
And I got here first.
Anyways, one of the people who have been loud about this particular issue is Reverend Intim Fojo.
Oh, Rev.
And he says that just 4 months in power, Sami is showcasing opulence and his arrogant attitude is coming to bear and all that. Now, this morning, Reverend Intim has been petitioned by one Mr. Ajen to the police CID that Reverend has defrauded him. It has become a serious issue, but I think because of Sami's issue, as a Reverend, ne phobia Ajen 600,000 say Obebo no ma wenya contract B to build an astroturf in the central region when they were in power in 2024. Now, person obeyed for sa contract. Reverend so adding. No one so nenam. John Cushion or Kakra or Moya no more 600,000 fee money hona. Contracts and I am farmer with full nesi. I don't say any sick akoshi in non corpese or mobuano. But in cases like this, who is really at fault?
The police the police will throw it away. It's a foolish case.
Okay.
What should the police do about it?
That was what I wanted to ask. Can we term this under fraudulence?
You are here.
Yeah.
Oh, you said you have some deal B, and you've told me that this and deal. I can help you get it, or probably me kind of about also. I've seen this deal. I've seen this project. I would want to get it. Or you say, you can help me facilitate. Yeah. Probably you didn't ask me for anything. Or I just, Bosun, for you to be motivated. Yeah. Charlie, Jewena, and cushion so that you can push my burden. What are you going to do at the police station? Because of what? Also pay baby and it's bidding, so probably the bid will be for the
okay. The reason why I was asking this and asking who is really at fault is this: the petition reads that it was Reverend who contacted him.
Okay.
That me who say what bid for this project,
okay.
But I can help facilitate
it for
you to get it at a fee. So if you can pay this amount, I will help you get it.
If that is the case there, then he has a case.
Okay.
If that is the arrangement, that I can get it for you at this fee. If that is there and there is documents showing that
he has presented all today.
Then the person has a case.
Oh, okay.
But so far as you made that what was it called? The company you made that offer. That so and you fulfill that part of the offer, then the person has a case. I thought that it was just that me who be say and they are different. But Reverend say I will get it for you.
Yeah.
Then there's a commitment. There was an offer. There's commitment and everything that shows that. So then police almost me actual home answer.
But I'm also thinking. Once I will go to Eska to get the bed, like, say what you ma, yeah.
You see, this is a, I wouldn't say a number, but this is it's a practice. It's become a practice across most of the institutions, especially with the government institution.
Okay.
People, we are here. People take monies from people just to book appointments to see some people in power. So it's become, quote unquote, a norm within the government's, dealings.
Okay.
For you to get a particular government bid, you need to pay some amount of money to some people for them to push your bidding, for them to do your bidding here and there, or for you to secure the procurement. So it's something that they do, but is it a practice? Should it be the norm? That's I say no, because if it should be competitive bidding, who can do what? Who is more qualified? Who based on whose track record that we are offering the contract or the procurement to. But say the highest bidder, the person with the highest money, and Obinya bidding, then always be most of the government contracts and procurement will go into the hands of the people who have money. Because if you don't have money, you can't bid for government procurement or government contract, because they always can or the he will just go and pay his way out to the politician, and they will just always be giving the contract to him. And I think I know most of the time that is how they run the whole show within government, because because the money will keep on circulating among themselves. So
so where the problem really is if you take the money and fail to.
If you take the money, because I know people who promised that they were going to get police slots, immigration, those security slots. They took monies from people and they couldn't get, because their plug within the presidency and thing failed them. And because they've also paid the plug and the plug failed to deliver, they went after them. It became a big issue. Yes, they were arresting people. And like the police, they made some they had discussion on how they were going to resettle those people. It was a huge sums of money, because a lot of people, even this current NDC government, I know people have started doing that. Oh, you bet me more police, a bit more nursing, a bit more say postings and I'm for Joe Musica. Even with fresh HS, you go to the secretariat, they are posting where mebano or chusu infantipim Makomano Odogono or person come infantipim. Infantipim there 12,000. Utiape you are it happens. Into what could you 12,000 not plug no a failure where the because he will try his best, and so those things work within the government sector, and it's up to you, the person, to make sure that your plug is legit and you can execute whatever it is, because say so they are then the person will take you on.
Is he? Yeah. Do you think Reverend is in the wrong here?
Well, I haven't really followed his issues, so I can't really speak.
No, but what's with, because that's the entire primary basis of the issue.
So if indeed there was an agreement, then I think he has a case, just as manager said.
You see, as of now, they've pulled out some Jemfi's appointment, employment agreement, his salary structure. This Ghana, I always say that Ghana, everyone has everyone's docket too. Once someone buy a man drink say will be nimu wasem. The moment
the internet never also
oh,
forgets.
the moment your issue
Yeah.
will pop up, no.
They will bring out
The day your mother was conceiving you in the
Bring it
document
up.
bro. You see, so it's going to be Samijam. Reverend's issue. What makes it some ways the fact that he's a reverend is a reverend. a reverend would
defraud you like that.
it's not even defraud. Will ask you to pay money before he helps you.
Oh, but business is business. Oh,
But Reverend,
is a
what's
business
up?
Reverend.
So you think he should have done it
Freely.
when he knows you're also going to benefit big time?
Now why are you a reverend?
Oh, it's to preach a gospel, not to be dashing.
Just
So gospel. Oh, I didn't know why never boa ya man for. Oh yes, Reverend never boa man for. Oh, and they so many family Reverend we no boa na say na also be nya say na never boa man.
Hey, even in church, when the church decides
Papa,
to
wait
support somebody to go to school,
Oh, that one there is okay.
No, but I think
but
that.
in a way.
But the church doesn't force you to come say change number age mama. Sorry,
No, but you self, your conscience.
Your conscience will tell you that tell you the mama consume sorry no kakra.
I think so.
Ideally, if someone helps you, so we are very conscious that you know that you also owe something to the person. So at any point in time when the person calls on you, it is like you're obliged to also in some way also respond.
Be available for
available to the person. So that is how nature should work. Because if I help you, even though I'm not expecting anything from you
in return,
but you to consciously you will be like, hey, so what can I even do to show appreciation or show my gratitude to Papa? That is how human nature is.
Okay.
But Reverend, I don't know, it's something social issue. They're going to do it for the masses. You also represent the masses. No, be a so Charlie Reverend. I did meet you. Which one is pay me for me to get? Yes, there is a business aspect, but because you're a Reverend Father, you shouldn't do it change now to me. What do you call ye?
Now we are better massive.
So like if Reverend Akomano I born money in your contract, then the person will feel the need that Reverend I'm in your contract into him, I'm going to show appreciation. That is fair. Because if you are going to everyone say you are going to seek employment, travel, something, and you go and see your spiritual father or your pastor, me two and more way in Pacho Boame on pay him. You didn't go and pay to the pastor for the pastor to help you. You just went and the pastor also spiritually probably praise, fast with you and that. So then the pastor won't tell you that come and pay me. One of us me go to an way me call me software now me bomb pie and yamia do not be more. Even though probably it might not be because of the pastor. But because what they was to name and through also probably Nelson Empire about Kakra no meet you. So you also say, then let me go and show gratitude to the man of God because I sent my issue to him and he also remembered me in prayers and God being so good, the thing has come to pass. So that is how it's supposed to be.
But you see, this is the case that there's not like say sorry something. This is political sir. And Reverend is not Reverend in the political space. He is Reverend in or society. It is what the banner or the mouth political angle. I don't think Reverend was really.
And the Reverend I'm watching the man swing. Then they said they're not need to
One of the pressing issues trending also is was it Thursday or Friday? Magdan and the Ghana Airport Company has been battling over some parcels of lands which belongs to them. According to them, it belongs to government for the airport, but it was taken over by Magdan. And finally, the court has ruled in favor of Ghana Airports to take over the land from Magdan. Now, my question is, how did a government property go into the possession or ownership of a private entrepreneur?
Oh, there's that one, it happens.
How does it happen? Because anyone man airport and Mama Dam. So how did he get access to own the land?
There is a land. When you are from Shangri-La, that you want to make that turn to the polo grounds.
Yeah.
So when you're getting to the polo grounds and you want to make that turn to the airport,
To the airport.
there's a land there. When MPP came to power, I know boys who went to that land and lay claim that so far as the MPP is in power, that land they are going to take it, because you know what they did, because they searched into the system and they found out that there's a land near the whole and so fast. No, jumping onto the land. That is how politicians they do. Before, as at now, this 4 months now, by this time, NDC people, we will have more claim some lands be out. By this, I'm working on giddy. Magdan has serious issues. Magdan, the honoring some of them chapter by chapter. Magdan has serious issues, especially with this current government, because of his dealings with the previous government. The airport, he taking over that private terminal, the trade fair center, the Adan swords. So there are like some issues around him that I know this government are going to take them one after the other and make sure that the rightful thing is done, because the way we run our governance is some way. We all know that land that belongs to state institutions were given to them by the traditional authorities purposely to do specific things. So you hear the I'm crying for saying, is it Labadi? Labadi for and here for saying they will say that the land that was given to the Ghana Armed Forces at the Teshi Labadi stretch for their camp, it's like the armed forces, they are not utilizing the land. So if they are not ready to utilize the land for the purpose to which the land was given to them, they are going to take back the land and also sell, because the land they need to chop. My people need to chop. So it's become some issue, because recently I heard one chief like that, it was in the eastern region, also said that he gave some land for them to do Agenda 111, and as at now, I don't know. So if they are not serious about it, he's going to take back his land and use it for something that will benefit him and his people. So when lands are given to the state, so airport land, ideally, airport needs to develop their lands to enhance airport activities. So when you sell it to an individual, what is the individual going to use it for? Is it a private property that will benefit him alone, or is it to benefit the airport, the state institution? So there will be questions as to how a land belonging to the airport is being sold to a private person to do what?
Right.
Even if it was like a partnership that, you've gone into a partnership with the airport company, that you are developing parts of the land to also serve as purpose for airport things, then it's a fair deal. But if it's sold to you alone to do something which is probably entirely different from whatever the airport's plans are, because it's a fact that the lands that belongs to the airport, they have long-term plans for each and every portion of the land. The airport that we see won't remain like this till eternity. As and when they will be developing bit and bit. So if you go and take or sell one portion, probably that portion is earmarked for something, and you are going to also use it for another thing which doesn't go in line with what the airport master plan is. So definitely they will come to you, and the questions as to how even you got access to the land is also an issue.
Sure.
So far as there will be change of government 4 years or every other 8 years, some of these issues we will go back and we will visit them. All those people that were like when NDC took office, Ora was all over going after state lands because Ablakwa has alleged that most of the state lands has been sold to private people, and then there was the need for them to reclaim it. And this chasing here back and forth, they are going to reclaim and sell to themselves. This thing, then another government will also come. Oh, you people too, you've sold the lands to yourself. We also in circles.
But do you think there could be measures, or there are already even measures in place to prohibit private entrepreneurs or persons to acquire state properties? But then maybe just because most of our laws give some primitive powers to executive arm, and so with such authority they still have their ways to disperse some of these things to themselves.
We are not serious in this. Every day I say we are not serious in this country.
Why?
Ghana, we have some of the powerful laws that you can think about. Everything that we do, we have law governing it. But the implementation has always been the issue for us. Because we came to realize that definitely there will be an issue of state lands being sold to individuals. Definitely, when you go to parliament and you go and check some of the airlines, there will be airlines that prohibit individuals, government appointees from buying state property. I know at a point in time when you are appointed in government, you allocated bungalows. When you are leaving power, there was a law that allowed those that stayed in the bungalows to acquire it.
Wow.
But it became an issue, and I think they changed the laws. Because I think, was it President Kufuor Mahama, one of them, it became a big issue. That I think it was President Mahama's time that he was leaving his residence that he occupied. When he left office, he was still occupying it, but that residence was meant for the vice president. President Mahama assumed office as a vice president before becoming the president, so he occupied that residence throughout his presidency. So when he left that residence, he was supposed to vacate from the residence so that Baumia takes occupy. But it became an issue that there was a law that because he had occupied it, the state should give it to him or sell it to him, and it became some issues, like I think in 2017 or something, before they rectified certain things, and we moved on from there. So we know that these things will be problem for us. So I think we've made laws that prohibit people, but so far as government always has their way of doing things, you always get elements of people doing some of these things. Now people are chasing lands in Laboni, cantonments, Roman Ridge, Ring Road, and all those. Like they've said, they've sold it to virtually everyone. The current government is going after all these people. Just last week, I was reading from one NDC person that if you occupy any room or any building within those enclave, be prepared to move because they are coming after you. So that is it. They will definitely come after you, and we need to have a system to check or stop all these things, because state land is state land. So far as those lands are earmarked for certain projects, even if it takes 50, 100 years, it should be there
for the state.
Unless the state has decided that I won't pursue the project again, then you reverse the land back to the rightful owners, who are the traditional leaders or probably the families that lease the land to the state. So we need to be up and doing and take our laws critically, because the laws are there, but Enforcing and implementation is the problem for us as Ghanaians.
Okay. Is there anything you have to say?
Yeah, coming to McDonald's land possession. For how long has he possessed that land?
Oh, since throughout NPP's power,
It's
term.
been like 7 years now, I think.
So could it be that maybe, because definitely if you are buying land from somebody, they will ask you questions. What do you intend to use that land for? Could it be that maybe what he's supposed to use the land for, he didn't use it? That is why they went back to reclaim the land from him.
No, from what we are hearing, it seems that he illegally acquired
it.
Yes, but I'm sure probably, you see, McDonald also has that side because he had that private terminal.
Aviation.
He has that McDonald aviation, and even with the private terminal, you see the issue that came up that he was owing the airport company so much, like in arrears and all those kind of things. So I'm sure he might have been thinking towards expanding his terminal for his aviation private terminal. So it's definitely will fall, because you can't go and buy an airport land and go and build hotel there. They won't agree to it. Yeah, so it's either you are expanding to meet the needs of the airport, or it's something that's related to aviation stuff, aviation hub. But because the airport company said it was illegally acquired and it's not supposed to be sold to private person, that is why they've gone to rectify it.
If indeed he has possessed that land for about 7 to something years you mentioned, and then they said it's illegal, why has it taken that time for them to realize it's like now?
Because
previously it was the other government that was
because the people that sold to him, they didn't see anything wrong
with it.
Selling it to him. But now another person comes and says that, Charlie, it's wrong for you to sell the thing to the airport company, the board of governing directors or whatever. They are all political appointees. So if I'm in power and I appoint the directors to the board, and my person goes there and says, "Oh, Charlie, I want this thing," they will approve and sell it to him, because he's probably a party person, or he's a financier to the party, whatever it is the person is. Then another government comes and makes new appointment. They will come and say, "Oh, no, this person is not supposed to acquire this." They also chase you.
Okay.
So it's because of the previous body didn't see any wrong in selling the land to him.
Okay. So what does that make of them? They know it's illegal. Is it that they didn't know?
Oh no, they were doing party job. Which one is it?
So they are thieves.
They were doing their party job.
I think the main concern should even go to the courts, because definitely the case didn't go to court this year.
Yeah,
it's been in court for quite some time, and it was just abandoned. They were just tossing the airport company now the case wasn't even attended to until there was a change of government, a new board being appointed or established. Then fast forward, the case has been
fast tracked.
So I don't know. Is it becoming an increasingly worry or concern that our courts are in some way not really independent? They do the biddings of government in power.
This issue there is a very dicey and a very serious issue, and when you are speaking to it and you are not careful, they probably might charge you for some stupid thing. So sometimes I'm very mindful discussing issues that concern the topmost people in our judiciary, because yes, we can clearly say that some of these things, from when you sit from afar, you can see that. Why is it that this small case, it will take us all these things? Meanwhile, you know that this is the right thing to do, but we just be stressing ourselves, going back and forth. So for the moment there's a change in government, then we move on from there. So when you do that, you just give us the indication that you are being compromised, or you are being, someone is directing your affairs and someone is telling you to do this and do that.
Okay.
Meanwhile, probably yes, so it's up to them. They need to be up and doing and let us know how independent they are with what they are doing. Because at the end of the day, when we get to that juncture, it is them that we rely on. Everything that we are doing in this country, when we get to the critical point, the last resort is the Supreme Court, the apex court of the land. That is where we all go and seek for the finality of what we want to understand. So if you need to be independent, unbiased, we are now finding traces of you being manipulated, or there's influence here and there. Then when we get to that juncture, we don't have any belief that you're going to even be fair, neutral and fair and just. So they need to be up and doing and give us the trust that we can trust them, that when we get to that point, they will deliver on their mandate that is given to them. Other than that, people will be going on demonstration every week just to make sure that they sit they sit on their toes or whatever. They keep them on their toes.
No, okay. Is it?
Yeah.
Anything in there?
No.
Oh, okay. The NDC, before coming to power, campaigned on so many things, but one of their major campaigns was the 24-hour economy, which they said they were going to bring to implementation as a policy to help create jobs and ease unemployment in the state. So it's been 4 months. We are yet to really see anything of that measure. But and according to the NDC, they say that they are looking to get all the legal factors of that policy right before they can implement it. One of the factors is making sure the act, the policy has been put into the act of law in labor in Ghana here, because there are some factors of the labor law that makes it impossible to even work overnight or work for a certain period of time. So they want to amend all these things and get the policy rolling. But organized labor as a union are against this procedure by the government to incorporate the 24-hour economy policy into the labor law. So is it that organized labor is against the 24-hour economy policy? Or because what is really going to be the disadvantage to the Ghanaian labor force if the 24-hour economy law is being implemented or incorporated?
You see, there's a big issue with politicians when they stand on campaign platforms to make certain promises. So when they stand on campaign platform to make certain promises, ideally, in every, in quotes, correct democracy, as a political party seeking the mandate to govern a country, when you're putting in policies, you need to consult the various sectors to which the policy will affect.
Okay.
So, whilst the NDC were campaigning vigorously about 24-hour economy, are they telling us that they didn't know that there were issues concerning the Labor Act that they needed to look at or consult the organized labor to see if how feasible these issues or the implementation of the policy will be? In another breath, you see, their opponents kept on asking them that with the policy that you've said, every other member of the NDC goes about explaining it in different ways. So we don't have a clear cut as to how this policy is going to even fare. And even with the policy itself, it is not something that you say is something new, because some people already run 24-hour business. There are most businesses, like especially with the industries, manufacturing firm, they run on 24-hour policy. So if you are going to nationalize it or bring it into the government's fold, how is it going to be like? Because we are used to
9 to 5,
8 to whatever it is. And it's a very I know of GT Bank, sometimes some of their branches work, they do 2 shifts because of the volume of people, client that come to them, especially like the La Paz branch, because people were like, it was a hub for remittances. People were taking a lot of remittances from there. So they were running like 2 shifts. They would do morning to evening, then 5 to somewhere around 9 p.m.
Wow.
Just to make sure that they see to the needs of their customers. So it was something that some companies, some industries were already, applying. So if we're going to bring it to the government sector, how is it going to roll out? And even with the government sector, how is it going to be beneficial to the people? Because, say, like Ministry of Education. Ministry of Education is running on 24-hour. And I don't know Ministry of Education, then within that ungodly hour. What are they going to do for someone? So, you see, there are specific areas that that those things can apply, like the health sector. They are already doing that, because they are a very crucial sector in our dispensation. So the policy need to go directly to them, because they play a very critical role in whatever it is that we are doing. So if you are targeting them, fine, it's fair enough. But other sectors, when it comes to the creative arts and tourism, we are already running such a policy. Because when you come to the creative arts tourism, bars no operate from an apartment area, chow babe operate from an apartment area, and you bring to our machine now lounge so club so they are already in that ecosystem.
In operation. Musicians,
they are around. The Korea Ghana Music Awards here, I'm holding a hostage throughout the night. We're there. so that is how it is. But other sectors, it is highly impossible that you get people to run such a policy with them, because they barely do anything. Unless we are going to change our probably education system and say, I'm for so young shift system, I'm for Kwanapa, area, and so that we'll keep the classroom busy at all points in time. But it can never happen like that. So organized labor will have the cause to ask you, how are you going to run some of these things in some of these sectors? What incentives are you putting in place? What is the efficiency? What is the cost benefit analysis? How is it going to improve in the revenue mobilization of the country? What will be the effect on the economy of the country? All these questions will come to play, because you can't run that throughout the entire economic hemisphere of the country. It can never be possible. It can't be possible. there are specific sectors that yes we can run them, and some of them are already doing that. They don't even need any government policy to come and tell them that, Charlie, because if I'm selling something and I know that I have audience or market at those peak hours, definitely I'll always do it. Me, Oko New Tower, Aberdeen rights, Ono Homachino Oba, because he knows that most of these cafe boys they work in the night. Into from 9, we set it up, Obeton Emuna till morning. Wash it at friend said Dankwa Circle. She knows, the woman knows that the woman comes around 12 a.m. She knows that people will come to club within that space. Purple pub, the mood, and so forth. In time, how much I come back home because I'm a club here. How much no over set here? We're going to queue a motor watching. So she has studied the market and seen that there will be a need for me to position myself there. She doesn't need any government policy to tell me that, Charlie, I'm on for purple, I'm on for mood, I'm on for her, how much I come back home. And you see, so some sectors doesn't really need the government intervention for them to run some of these things. They can sit down and plan. So based on this, all that you need to do is that yes, even with the security, the police they do that, and I just a police on patrol. So already the police are doing some of those things. So you need to enhance that aspect of security so that every other person that has planned to run some of these things, they know that they have that security that they can run with that. Other than that, it's not a big. It has never been a big deal for me. I've never seen it to be a big deal. That 24 hours economy is a big deal because some sectors of they are doing it. And there are sectors that you can't push them to do it. It is highly impossible.
So what are some of those sectors?
Like the education sector, which is one of the biggest employing agency for government. You can't push them to do 24-hour economy. It can never be possible unless we as a country we decide that, and they're fine. Even with shift system in school, going from morning and afternoon, we are trying to even change that. We say that we don't want amount for Beko and amount for Beko area. How much more amount for Beko in break?
But you know, some people are night owls. They like to learn at night.
Learning at night is different from teaching at night too.
So don't you think those people, we should give them the night shift? They should incorporate.
Who is going to? You see, that is where I say that politicians they are their own enemies. So. Someone told you that they are implementing free SHS, and because of that, they are overwhelmed with the numbers that they've gotten, and the school facilities are not able to absorb them all at a go. So they've thought it wise, let's run a policy of double track or whatever, so that some people will come at this time and others will come at this time and blah blah, so that the school can take them or we can take that numbers. Some people said no, that's not the best way for us to run our education. We need all the students to go at the same time, right? This has become an issue. The certain government said when they will come and cancel that because they want all their students in the classroom at the same time for everybody to be learning, which we know that it can never be possible
because we don't have the infrastructure.
We don't have it. You see, as they were saying it, they knew that it would be difficult to come and cancel that thing immediately because you don't have the infrastructure to absorb everybody. Now, PRESEC usually we're taking like 2,000 people. Now, PRESEC is taking like 5,000 people. So if you say they should all come at a go, where are they going to stay there at? Okay, fine. We said that this policy is because our classrooms, we have numbers and we want everyone to be in school. So let's develop a system, shift system, so that we can utilize we. We are finding ways of just building facilities so that we take away the shift system, so that we can get everybody go at the same time. Because we've seen that probably the shift system is not helping us. So now, if you are going to do a 24-hour within the education, something that we are cancelling some of the things that now you're going to bring. Hey, who would like to go to school at night? Night School. Have you watched that movie before?
No.
Oh, Night School. No, Kevin Hart's Night School.
Yeah. I have. Kelvin Hart.
You want to go to school at night? Who wants to with this Ghana? With these Gen Zs that they love chilling at night, they are on TikTok and doing their
Abaco Club.
No one is ready to do night school. So obviously, education system is a no for 24-hour economy. There's no way
Sure.
we can implement such a policy there.
Okay.
Health sector is absolutely yes, because they are already even doing that. Because when you go to the hospitals, the nurses, they run morning, afternoon, night. So there we can put everything in there and make sure that. So like, if we are going to do that, let's expand our health infrastructure. All this agenda 111 that they've stored, push money in it, get them completed, and absorb all the nurses, because we have a backlog of so many graduate nurses that are in the house.
Sure.
Put them all in the hospitals, and let's get health delivery system closer to everyone. And then you see that, oh, you've achieved your aim with that policy within a very critical sector of the economy. Because if our health system is very, very efficient and it's running and it's very accessible to each and every one, like the closest of, like as we are here, there's an agenda 111 just like 500 meters from us, and we can just easily walk there. Why should we go to Rage and stuff? We can easily go there when things are very critical for us. So you make health delivery accessible to everyone, and you absorb or you create a lot of employment with that, because the health sector really is a place for creating employment. And you take the burden from a lot of people. So then you can say that, oh, the policy has achieved its aim in this sector and is really affecting the economy. Because if you have like 50,000 nurses all within our health facilities, and they're offering so many, or like health professionals within working in the health sector, and they're offering all the services within the health hemisphere, at least almost now they have families that depend on them, then you know that you've sorted out some of the unemployment issue somewhere.
So in actual sense, you're saying that there's no need for them to review the labor law, but rather speak to the industries that you think the 24-hour economy best fits, then they
run with them.
Rather than
look at the key, like the manufacturing and the industries, they run some of this system policy already. So let's go there. How can we enhance it? So, if we give you some aid to expand, probably you are taking like you are employing like 500 hands. If we give you some aid to expand, can you employ extra 500? Oh yes, we can, by implementing this kind of shift system, and also making sure that we have ready markets for whatever it is that we are manufacturing. Then we are in business. Then we are talking that yes, the policy, because bear in mind, if we rush and go and implement the policy, and the policy is really not creating anything, then what's the use of the policy? Because at the end of the day, from what we heard in the campaign, it tells you that the policy is coming to create a lot of jobs for people. So now if we rush to go and amend labor laws, and
it wasn't able to create
the jobs, telling the people will be annoyed. The people that you campaign to, where are the jobs? They will be asking you, where are the jobs? Meanwhile, you know that some of the sectors cannot operate in such a policy. So you speak to the sectors that are already familiar with the policy or the system, then we see how they are going to expand and absorb people and create more room for employment. And we move.
All right. Lizzie, you're okay with that?
Yes.
Okay. The Forestry Commission has made a demand on government that some of the forests that they've claimed from the Galamsees, when they leave, the people come back to mine in the forest again. So then, if let's say they've come to claim here, they move to maybe Abilekuma. by the time they realize that people have come back here, then they need to stop what they are doing in Ablekuma and rush back here.
Yeah.
Then people will go back to Ablekuma too, again. So they are demanding a permanent
military
presence. Government should deploy military personnel to these forests permanently. They should camp there, base their camp there, and guard these forests for the state. Is this a good call, or we should still go with the shoot to kill approach? Because it seems these people are just not. Oh, it's true. If they had shot them, are their ghosts going to come back to mine the forest again? But we leave them, we go, they come back. You still don't agree with the shoot to kill?
No.
Why? Is the people that who are going to die is what worries you? Or?
In as much as they are doing something wrong, they could actually be useful for another purpose.
These people?
Oh, yes.
Okay. What can they be used for?
Oh, who knows? They can learn a skill and be good for themselves or good for their country.
But they've been mining and getting money. If they wanted skill, they could have invested those money in there.
And some of them have come out to boldly say that they are mining because there are no jobs. So you think if the government provide them with job, they'll go back and mine?
They shoot to kill now, but well, Baba.
They should shoot them.
Oh yeah, they should.
So what if they end up shooting an innocent soul?
What
about that too?
Who is going to be the innocent soul there?
Because here lies the case. Okay, the person is mining, you're equally selling. You go there to go and sell for the person, and then at that time they are doing shoot to kill and they shoot you when you are not even involved in Galamsey. What you went there to do is just to go and do your business and then come back.
You that is going there to do your business, you're encouraging them.
How are you encouraging them?
Let them starve.
I am working. What has that got to do with me? I'm selling my food and I'm getting my money.
Okay.
So if this is the path you have chosen for yourself, who am I to come and tell you to?
Okay, let me ask you
As a
this.
seller.
Let me ask you this. If you know an armed robber, someone who is a thief, and you sell a gun to that person to rob, are you just doing your business or you are encouraging the wrong thing the person is doing?
No, but I'm working. No, like I'm working. That's how I also gain my revenue. And you, I'm Robbie, is how you also gain your revenue. So I get your money, so I'm getting my money. So how am I encouraging you? Maybe I'll tell you. And then you say, but people go in to buy license gun just to protect themselves. So what about that one too? I shouldn't sell to them too.
But with this one, that
so what is the person also?
Let them start.
I don't think the shoot to kill is the best approach to solve this crisis. Honestly, just as they've started arresting people, you should continue like that. Rather than the shoot to kill.
How long can we be arrest them?
Because a lot of them, when you go to the villages right now, the main job right now there is Galamsey. If you kill them, who will be there to vote for you if you want to?
So
I feel I think there's always a better approach to solve issues. The shoot to kill it is a no for me.
Okay.
Manager, why are you laughing? They should kill them.
Yeah, I'm watching Bukumbanku showing Sami Jenfi how to properly dash money to someone in public. You people say they shouldn't shoot them and allow everybody to mine. So we are all mining. We are all miners. So how long
can we go back to arrest them?
No, even not arrest. How long can we keep the army who are supposed to be thinking about external forces?
Seriously. The way the
and
world
we're
is
using army
going
to be chasing people that the police can just go and finish them within some 20
but it should to kill the best approach.
I've not said shoot to kill. I'm saying that how long?
We can even shoot to injure.
How long? How long?
If the person die in the process.
No, they are legs.
How long can you continue to use them. Okay, so do you know the number of forest reserve that we have in Ghana? And do you know our force strength, like our force strength? Now we are battling with Boko. We are the
Leave those people.
The man says they should kill them.
You should leave them.
The number of armed personnel at Boko currently is something.
Yeah.
Then the rest of them that are supposed to be there training, monitoring, and picking intelligence on external forces here and there, we are going to push them all into the forest.
Yeah.
Just because of some few people's greed.
And these forests are big. Like, we are talking about big forests too.
Even Achimota forest here.
If
you say you want to
protect
it, you need not less than 500 personnel.
Personnel.
You see, then we are going to leave our borders porous. Then by the time we realize the people are in here and already attacking us. So before the military will come from the bush to come and save us, we are all gone.
Then once they move from the bush, the Galamseyans will go back.
The Blue Water Initiative.
Please.
Because you see, today if you go and you arrest them, like they said, if you go and arrest them, give them 2 days, 3 days, they will regroup and come back. Because the moment you go there, all the day that the minister came to cry, and he said they've totally taken over or repossessed some forest reserves. We should go to those forest reserves today and see that the people are back there. Because the moment you go there, you clear them, you leave. As you clear them, you have a different place. You've come back to Accra. You've gone to different place. They will come back again.
So what do you think should be done? Obviously not the shoot to kill.
No, the shoot to kill the shoot to kill will be a sign of serious caution and warning to everyone. So if you've killed 100 people,
you kill them and then you bury them.
If we can really stop this thing, the height it has reached now.
If we've killed 100 people, let's say, as a country, we are going to kill 100 people.
You see, 400 in your example out of
because we've tried every other means to end this thing. It's not stopping. The politicians are still eagerly doing it. Last week, there's this TikToker guy, what was it, Bibi Shakur, who was very, very loud during the past government, exposing things that last week he was on the Bibiani, Kumasi Bibiani road.
Yeah, I think I saw
the video. We posted the video.
Yeah.
Right
beside
the road.
The roadside.
He said that NDC chairman
owns that side.
It's going on.
Seriously, it's really going on. And last week too, there was a certain township, and people have started
mining
in their homes, in their homes. Baby, I
saw that video too, and then I was like,
you see where the thing have gotten to.
Oh, come on.
The people have come to see how much they can get from it.
Because now we've moved from the forest and we are bringing it to the house.
Now to the house.
Because they know that if I go to the forest, then they will chase me. And let me do it in the house. So our share the greed is there. Our politicians are not telling us the truth. Our traditional leaders are not telling us the truth. Every other person who find themselves in leadership position is greedy for this thing. Because if the traditional authorities say they want to stop, they can stop.
They can stop it.
If the politician wants to stop this, they can stop it. But because both of them have decided not to stop, we'll still linger on. We'll still go on. We'll just be chasing ourselves
around the bush.
Within the circle. We'll just go here and go and do small operation. Tomorrow, we'll leave them to go and mine. Like that last time we were talking about the gold board and they are projected and all those kind of
their
things.
revenues. Most of it is coming from the.
It's just going to buy gold from artisanal miners. Artisanal miners are who? Galamseyers, small. They say small scale miners, but almost all the small scale miners are Galamseyers.
Yeah.
So now we have a critical gold board that we are all praising that within this short period they've helped to stabilize the city and our gold reserves are becoming strong and all those kind of things. It means that indirectly we are encouraging that more people should go there and mine. So the gold board is not even buying from the established miners. They are buying from artisanal miners. So the Galani there, they nyanjai too. They too are area. No one seems ready to stop Galamsey. Really no. There's no effort from anyone. The efforts are just
antics.
Antics and tactics. There's no will within any power that they want to stop Galamsey. We should just forget. Like no one should even go on demonstration about Galamsey again.
I see you're higher.
Okay. And we are just wasting our time.
See, until the shoot to kill approach, nothing can be done.
I'm being serious.
Is
no Ghanaian,
if we try that, people will stop.
No Ghanaian should waste their time going on demonstration about Galamsey. It's unfun for Sobi and Brobia. Because the politicians and the traditional leaders, they are not ready to stop or hear what you are saying. Sure. Sit at your home. Also, we will fear and we cry. Because now that is what they want everybody to do. So you able to because what haven't people done in this country? The only option left for us is to kill people, and that is what we are all saying. You people are saying we shouldn't do.
But
that's the only option.
That's the only
for us now.
That can bring an end to this.
You give any better option?
Yeah.
What option are you proposing?
They should arrest them and put them.
But they've been arresting them.
Hard labor.
Which hard labor?
They'll farm.
Why if you arrest them, another set will come.
So if you kill them, another set will not come.
Oh, if you kill them, you've seen that continuously for like one month, 2 months, 3 months. They are killing people.
It's too harsh.
No. What say? If we get to the stage where yenyansu bia bima, then you would see which one is harsher.
We have our passports stamped here and there. We are preparing.
Black man.
Because you people are not serious.
Yes,
we are not serious to do what will help everyone.
That's not what we are willing to do.
We are not serious to do what will help everyone.
Yeah, crocra there no. As a crew, umia na no pana. What the year for say.
Now, NDC people are saying that it's their turn to also
mine. Get their own share of the gold money.
This is GhanaTalks Breakfast Show. Your morning NDC
is going to do this for 4 years NDC. Another political party comes. They also tell you that, hey, so I think I'm a time about. So we're also going to mine. So we'll keep on going and going and going and going and the political will, as like Besson will say, if there's a political will, this thing can stop. If the president Tankasa at TC Forest in Balcon and we lead the charge, say, hey, our president call all the chiefs, traditional leaders who have Galamsey sites within their backyard, call everybody to Jubilee House and tell them that, Massa, in the next 1 month, 2 months, may more go and stop Galamsey. If you don't stop,
we will distill you or something.
The stool need a bad thing because president doesn't have it. But you have some sanctions for them. You take away some of their things legally. Or you cut supply. You see, you need to have primitive measures. To stop some of these things.
Sure.
Then hospital, you better withdraw all the nurses, all the doctors from your constituency or your district.
Yeah.
Teachers will draw everybody. You see, you put in some primitive action, then they will see that, hey, the president, they need brio. Because, okay, fine, we are not going to shoot to kill. Like if, say, Mpoho, whatever, Wasa, the government has withdrawn all health professionals. We've closed down hospitals. Now, 3 days, correlate now, and are we shooting to kill? But because of your action, and the president will take action away, then now you realize, hey, challenge the danger, the president, and we are mobile health professionals. But this is another primitive measure we can use. We draw every health professional, we draw all the teachers, every government will be, we draw them, close down schools, cut down supply of water. Because Ghana Water Club brands and our supply, we cut down supply of water. We send out queue can no supply of electricity for 1 month. Not sure so you can survive in that area. You won't come and beg us that there's someone in Ghana will say too.
And I say, you penso I should to buy you we are usirim. What the tenna pa 9 bear the record size. So I mean, as Papa said, we just need some primitive measures to fight this menace. Else we will just be dabbling around it, and it will still keep growing increasingly, because the attractiveness of, I mean, the riches in this thing, it makes it difficult to stop. What sites ba Charlie? What to make of it too or more? No, bejai. So yeah, that has been the.
Well, the bottom line is that no Ghanaian citizen should ever go on demonstration for Galamsey. We should stop because I'm fashion back.
Okay.
I'm fashion back.
Okay. It has been an interesting and educative conversation on the show this morning with me and my abled panelists, Tessinam and Pokwesi. Shout outs to our big producer DJ Q. Also, not forgetting today is Fikozi's birthday. I want to say name Kokozi. Yeah, I am Media Powerhouse Chairman Balcon, and then a birthday from Ghana Talks Radio and everyone in the studio here. Everyone part of the company, we wish you a happy birthday. We pray long life, good health, more money, more wealth, and a good woman to marry by the end of the year, so that we all can eat jollof at your wedding.
Amen.
Hey, girls, the motive way Salmon for Kawari Penny. Amen. You, when are you going to marry so that we also come?
Very soon we go for champagne. But well, so this is where we end the show. We draw the curtains right here. DJ Rock will take over. Enjoy the rest of your day.